Kyle Brust in Nortman. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Bradley Nortman. He's, I can't see that far, DJ Strofe. It says,
Strofe is
Oklahoma City.
Oklahoma City stuff. What's the deal with that?
Yeah.
You know, Oklahoma City fan
Didn't
now?
he have the Denver Nuggets winning in 6 against Oklahoma City? Remember he had that.
He did. It was the revenge is served cold.
Best cold.
Yeah, and he said it in some creepy German way, right?
Yes, he did say it in some creepy.
I think it was French, actually.
Was it French?
No, it was German. The way it was, it definitely sounded German.
I don't care. Are we revoking his Bucks fanhood?
Well, Vengeance ist on Plaque, Quais, and Mangers, Bein, Freud.
No, that sounds German to me.
It sounds
Deutschland to me.
Yeah, it sounds like the
Vengeance ist on Plaque, Quais, and Mangers, Bein, Freud.
The cadence of a German man, right?
The cadence of a German man.
An emotionless German man.
No Ben Brust today as he is now on his bachelor party. Probably taking a nap. He hasn't texted us yet.
Kyle.
He did text us, actually.
He did text us.
When time not you.
He texted me and Strofe, and he said, texting you guys because it's only iMessage, like on a plane, you know, when they free messages. So once again, Kyle's Android is giving us issues of connectivity on the show. And he said he already sweet-talked a flight attendant into a free screwdriver.
Wait a minute, sweet talk. I don't think he's supposed to be. Were you guys supposed to say that? Were you supposed to say that on air?
Just did.
Yep. It's his bachelor party. That's it. I mean,
ain't no sweet talking happening.
But hold on a minute. We know Ben Brust is a world-renowned kiss ass.
He is.
Yes,
right?
he
And
is.
that's all that was on display. It wasn't like he was flirting with her.
No.
He was just being like, oh, you probably have the coolest job, and you get to see all the places in the United States of America. Now we're going to Scottsdale. What do you know about Scottsdale? I'm going to my bachelor party.
Yeah.
Would you mind giving me a free screwdriver, please? I imagine it was some rendition of that.
Do you want to ask why we're going there? Oh, it's my bachelor party. He just leans in to that persona to get a little bit of free perks.
No.
In this case, it was a screwdriver.
I'm sure he's going to get a lot of free things over this weekend. Nothing from me, but KBN. We have a great show here for you. You can always watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Make sure y'all give us a nice little like on the video, but also make sure you hit subscribe on ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. And you can watch and stream us live on ESPN Madison on YouTube. Now, I don't have the ticks of the talks, and I don't know too much about Mr. Beast. But I was told that Mr. Beast has a proposition for some people out there to make a whole heck of a lot of money now. So what I was told is that there's a 3-point contest Mr. Beast is offering up to just any old body to be able to shoot 100 3-pointers, make 100 3-pointers in just 6 hours.
NBA threes.
NBA threes. And for a brother like me, I do okay. But $750,000, I think I might need to be shooting in the gym to get ready for that. I don't know about you, Bradley Norton, but that $750,000, is that enticing to make you put back on the old gym shorts and T-shirts from Brookfield Central?
It does, and to probably nobody's surprise, I was more of a 15 feet and in kind of guy, you know? Physicality, rebounds, you know, elbow jumper, you know, that was my sweet spot.
I bet you were very technical with your shot.
Very technically sound. So I didn't get a lot of 3-point opportunities, but me, like everybody else in this world, you go to a basketball court, and what do? You start chucking up threes, and I'm okay at them. I'm okay. When he threw, first of all, I don't even know who this Mr. Beast is. That's a very good sound.
Of course you don't know who Mr. Beast is.
Who's Mr. Beast?
Oh, come on. We did this with Miss Rachel yesterday.
Mr. Beast.
We're doing this again?
Miss Rachel, I think upon reflecting on it, I guess I could kind of piece it together. Mr. Beast, I've legitimately never heard of this before.
Okay, what if I told you it is kind of a semi-similar vein as Miss Rachel?
So
not quite the same content, but same idea.
So I know Tony Cartagena, executive producer of the Thanalis
Slaughtered
show.
that pronunciation.
Tony Cartagena. I had a weird saliva thing in my mouth. Not gonna lie, I swallowed.
Okay,
TMI. Don't swallow.
I swallowed it. Tony Cartagena, executive producer of the Thanalis show, he sent this to us on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, so I didn't open it. Mr. Beast. Mr. Beast is a fitness guy.
Oh.
Mr. Beast is a basketball coach.
Oh, my God.
Mr. Beast is a Mr. Beast. Who would be a beast?
Come, Brad.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
No, he's not cooking. He's drowning.
Let him cook.
Yeah, he about to lose his life.
Hold on. I got to be getting
Let
close.
him drown. Let him drown.
He ain't
Mr.
even
Beast.
close.
He is a motivational speaker.
Bro, like, what was Miss Rachel yesterday?
She was educational content for infants.
On?
YouTube.
Okay, which makes her potentially a what? YouTube.
Influencer?
Okay, so what do you think Mr. Beast is?
He's an influencer. But what kind of influencer is he?
I don't know. He just throws money around.
So he's just a guy who just has a microphone for no good reason? What did he do? What did he do to earn it?
That's a great question.
He must have earned it.
He earned it by doing.
He must have earned it.
Or do we live in a world
Okay, now you might
where
be
if
getting
you
there.
just speak into a microphone enough, you gather a crowd, and nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd,
Oh, wow.
and before you know it,
Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. Sure. Yeah.
you're
yeah.
an influencer for no reason.
It is astonishing that.
Is that Mr. Beast?
We
Wait,
literally.
hold on. Slow down. Before we answer whether or not that's Mr. Beast, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you an influencer for no good reason?
No, I think I have a good reason.
Which is?
I played in the NFL and the Wisconsin Badgers, and I have a level of professional sport credibility
dropped
in
a lot of those on
a
us.
sports-based talk show.
Yeah, who's talked a whole lot of sports here in the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, plenty of sports. So what did Mr. Beast do? He must have played in the NBA.
No, can I just Mr. Beast? Mr. Beast is just some kid, some guy who has people do he does these weird things.
He
like,
is the most subscribed to
Yeah.
YouTuber, has made the most
No, he's
money from the
not.
platform of
No,
YouTube of
Come
any
on.
individual
Yeah.
alive.
How much has Mr. Beast made?
Mr. Beast.
He
I
puts
think
a lot of money into his
I think
videos.
he's the only YouTube billionaire.
Brad,
Come on. So he must have done something to achieve
Brad,
this.
you remember last week when we were talking about how Giannis shot a video with Mr. Beast?
Mm-hmm.
I just sort of was like went along with it.
He-
Yeah, Mr. Beast.
I appreciate
Giannis.
the honesty. Yeah.
Yep, Mr. Beast. So again, what does he provide
He's the eighth
of
youngest
value?
billionaire. Entertainment.
What does he do to entertain? Does he sing? Is he
No,
funny?
He
just
does
has-
challenges and
He had a
makes-
whole TV show on.
Does
one
he
of
do
them,
the challenges,
Prime.
or he makes other people
no,
do it?
other people do the challenges.
So
like
again,
for
what does he
example, there was a video of 100 people that all got a little square and a big square, right? So 100 people all get a little bit of room. And they eventually, you can't leave, and whoever is the last one standing wins like $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million. And it takes days and days and days, but it ends up being this epic hour-long YouTube video that people watch the challenges.
Is it live?
No, it's edited.
He makes $50 million.
So he's
a
like
month.
how much does he make?
$50 million a month.
A month.
A month? No. For coordinating stupid challenges?
It's actually. I learned about Mr. Beast probably like during the pandemic. Craig told me, Craig Carmenson for Sunday Karma, 10 a.m. to noon right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
Well-hosted show, I might add.
It has improved. And he told me about it about 5 years ago, and it actually is very, very entertaining. Very entertaining. Just like this. Now think about this. Mr. Beast came up with this idea of somebody gets $750,000 just to make 100 free throws in 6 hours, and you're talking about it.
You know what? When I heard Mr. Beast, I legitimately had in my mind
beast?
an athletic, strong-looking guy. This is just a dude. This guy's just a guy.
Just a dude.
So
Yeah.
he coordinates challenges, and that's it.
That is correct.
Wow.
That is
What
correct.
a world we live in.
So anyway,
So anyway,
So the challenge he's
100
coordinating that we're
threes.
going to win this $750,000 from
but it's in 3 hours. NBA threes.
in 3 hours.
3 hours.
I can
NBA.
do it. I can do it in 70 minutes tops.
Oh, come
Hour
on.
10.
No, I'm not sure that's
So wait a minute.
true.
Sure. You believe you can make 100 3-pointers. The
Yep, that's
same
what I
kid
said,
that
yep.
could not runs a 40-yard dash in 6.2,
6.0.
6.0,
5.9. Bad timing by Brad.
6.0 seconds. The same dude.
5.9.
Same dude that was trending on social media for his 3-cone drill or his
Yep,
L
that's me,
drill.
yep.
You believe that you all of a sudden are magically going to have athletic ability to be able to make 100 3-pointers in 3 hours.
I don't know if you knew this. I played hoops.
No, you didn't.
Do
No,
you
you
shoot
didn't.
the ball?
Wait. Your junior year, were you on varsity or JV?
I did not. I was on varsity for summer league, and then I had an injury. I didn't play that year.
What was your injury?
Deflated ego.
And you played, did you start on as a sophomore on JV?
Oh, yeah.
How many 3-pointers did you make in a game on JV?
I made
Like
my
the whole
career
season.
high. Is
Yeah.
that what you're asking? Or
Yeah,
season high?
Like, did you
Career.
make More than 10 throughout the whole season?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I averaged like 11 points a game.
That's
my
a damn
sophomore year.
lie. That is a lie.
You didn't.
That is an
A sophomore
absolute.
year on JV, you averaged 11 points a
No, he
game.
didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Because you would have
Pull
been on
the
varsity.
stats. I don't believe you.
He don't. No, there is no
You
stats.
think
They don't.
11 points a game would make you varsity worthy?
The next year at your school,
That
yes.
probably leads the team.
Well, I would have been on varsity my junior year.
But why weren't you?
Because I decided to work for the newspaper instead.
Dog, he's
No,
the biggest
you
liar.
did not.
I would have get a
swear on
polygraph
love
test on you. Do.
You would not.
Yes,
have
but I
willingly-
realized I wasn't going to the NBA and I could maybe make sports media a
Oh
career.
my gosh! You're the
I could
biggest.
not believe
You are the
I'm
biggest
being
phony.
dead
You're the
serious.
biggest phony. So you believe you could make 100 3-point shots, NBA 3-point shots? You're
Yes.
telling me the guy I saw in that video all of a sudden gonna be Steph Curry?
Yep.
It's crazy.
What
Crazy.
time should I do this at tomorrow?
I
can't do it tomorrow.
Yeah,
We're
that's
going to
right.
Madison.
We're in Madison for the AmFam Championship, which I cannot wait to be at.
Yeah, it'll be great
TPC,
in Madison.
Wisconsin.
Going to be a blast. I'll do it.
No, dude, you're not gonna do it though. You can't do it. I'm just saying you physically can't do
should
it.
I do it like
you
should I wake up and do it tomorrow morning?
Strofe, you
No,
won't.
tomorrow morning.
You won't get it done. You can't physically shooting 100 shots for you. Just getting
Kyle,
100 shots. For
I
you.
would make 100 threes
No.
in less than an hour and a half.
Bro,
yes. I
you
need half. Give me half the time Mr. Beast is giving for $750,000. I will do it in half the time for $0.
You'd be lucky to make 25.
You just chasing the ball around
It's gonna be exhausting.
will be a sight to see.
Am I allowed to get a rebounder?
No.
This challenge was single. Like you have to get your own rebound.
Okay.
So you go shoot it, you run around, you get it, you do it over and over and over.
I think
what
we're-
percentage do you think you even hit?
But hold on a minute. Like, let's do some math together. Okay, if I do it in 90 minutes, right?
Okay.
That's 100 threes made in 90 minutes.
Yes.
That's about a make, what, every 50 seconds or so?
Do you understand?
Yes.
I don't think he understands this. Strofe, by the time you get to the 25th shot, you're going to start feeling it in your arms.
No, I
By
used to put a 500 shots a day.
You just said used to.
No, you did
used
not
to.
do 500 shots a day.
That was like a normal summer routine for us.
No,
yes.
it wasn't. You know how good you'd be if you did
Strofe?
500 shots
I was
a day?
good.
Strofe, you were not good
No.
at basketball.
I wasn't good.
Your
This is absurd.
your highlight of your basketball career was hitting a half-court shot.
Quarter shorts.
But baseball
in the
style.
third quarter,
You threw it like a
baseball style.
baseball.
Because you throw it like a baseball when you're a weakling. Like breaking news here.
Oh, baby.
Well,
Now
we were
this
having-
is some breaking news.
Well, we were having a conversation talking about Strofe making up lies about his basketball career, but there's somebody else who makes up lies about a lot of different things, and he used to be a Green Bay Packer, and his name is Aaron Rodgers. He went from the Packers. He went to the Jets, following the path of Brett Favre. We thought maybe he may end up with the Vikings, but according to Tom Pelissero, he has officially signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep,
Wow.
this will get done tomorrow as Rodgers has informed the Steelers he will fly to Pittsburgh tomorrow and sign before next week's mini camp for the Steelers. That is according to, as Kyle said, Tom Pelissero of NFL Network. There you go. We knew it was coming. It was just a matter of time, and the time is now.
The time is now. I want to break all this down on the other side, Strofe. I do. I want to have a conversation talking about Aaron Rodgers. 800-990-3776. It is going to be official tomorrow that Aaron Rodgers will sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers, which sets up a hell of a matchup as KBN will be taking a road trip to Pittsburgh. That is the plan, to take a road trip to Pittsburgh as the Green Bay Packers head to take on the Aaron Rodgers-led Steelers. How does this change your mindset for that game? But more importantly, does Aaron Rodgers still have something left in the tank? Who will win that duel? Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love? There's so much to cover and so much to talk about. Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, ESPN Madison on YouTube. We're going to talk about the breaking news that Aaron Rodgers is officially going to sign with the Steelers.
I hit
Strofe's
the mouse
excited.
on accident.
Is there more? There's more?
800-990-3776. We are taking your reactions next. Keep it like you're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Steph, your biggest strength in life that you bring to this world?
Probably my wife, because she keeps me calm. Even when I'm cursing at the TV during Packers games, I always know I can fall back on her.
That's sweet, man. Who knew KBN Nation with so many simps? Boy, I love this. I love this.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your chance to spend an afternoon on the links with ESPN Milwaukee is just a tap away. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open happens July 15th at the Ball Golf Course, and we're inviting a lucky ESPN Milwaukee fan and 3 guests. Hang out with your favorite ESPN Milwaukee hosts, play around at one of Wisconsin's most popular courses, and enjoy food and drinks throughout the day. Open up the contest tab in the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to win this fan foursome with ESPN Milwaukee.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
It's a home run! But wait, is your roof ready for the big league storms? If your roof has more holes than a catcher's mitt, it's time to bring in the pros. At Avondale Roofing, we've been handling leaks, repairs, and full replacements with major league precision for over 30 years. And as a GAF Master Elite certified contractor, we bring top-tier quality and proven performance to every job. Whether it's a quick patch-up or full upgrade, our team steps up to the plate and knocks it out of the park every time. You're out! Don't wait till water's in your dugout. Call Avondale Roofing today and keep your home in the win column.
The big gig is back, starting June 19th. 9 days, hundreds of musical acts. Summerfest in Milwaukee is the event of the summer. Plus, tune into 94.5 ESPN all 3 weekends for Summerfest Saturday. Enter for your chance to win tickets to the ESPN Wisconsin app or visit summerfest.com. We'll see you out there.
St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care recently switched to James Imaging Systems for their document imaging technology. Why? CFO Sally Parente.
Well, I think that boils back down to the service. We have a good partnership with James Imaging.
With James, you get more than a vendor relationship. You get a local business technology partner.
Oh, absolutely. I can pick up the phone at any time, contact our representative, and he's right on it.
James Imaging Systems, business technology and local support for more productivity, more value.
Definitely. We're a nonprofit here. We have to watch every penny, so we really feel very comfortable in that area with James Imaging.
Comfortable enough to recommend James Imaging Systems to others?
Well, without hesitation, I would recommend James Imaging. They won't be disappointed.
James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
For your next night out, revel in the fusion of artistry and flavor with Sushi at St. Kate, offering guests an elevated experience where freshness and creativity converge in every bite. St. Kate the Arts Hotel introduces an exciting new sushi menu to its culinary repertoire. Indulge in the finest seafood, freshest ingredients, and expert craftsmanship for an inspired and delectable dining journey. Experience the art of sushi at St. Kate and learn more at stkatearts.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Chicago is up next on June 6th through the 8th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Oh, baby! Now this is some breaking news.
It is KBN, and we have breaking news. According to Tom Pelissero, Aaron Rodgers will be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers as early as tomorrow. Aaron Rodgers will be back and returning for another NFL season. It is not over yet. We are giving you instant reaction to this breaking news. Former Green Bay Packers legend Aaron Rodgers will again play football for another season in 2025. make sure you call in with your instant reaction to this news at 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line at 800-990-3776. Watch and stream us live on YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, ESPN Madison on YouTube. Bradley Nortman, Alex Strofe, Kyle Wallace here with you. Noel Ben Bruss, as he is celebrating his bachelor party, missing out for his old friend Aaron Rodgers, officially coming back again, setting up an incredible matchup. Week 8 matchup as the Green Bay Packers head to Pittsburgh on October 26th. And there's so many different things that we can talk about with storylines. But the big one I want to know is the Steelers are playing against the Packers. Which team is better now? Who's going to go further, Brad? What is your instant reaction to this news?
Well, wow, there's a lot to react to this news. I'm of the belief that Aaron Rodgers still has quite a bit left in the tank. I know he's lost whatever mobility he had. That was certainly hampered last year for the New York Jets. But that first year coming off of an Achilles injury, you're looking at that and you're saying, do I trust my feet? Do I trust my push-off? All the things with an Achilles injury, he's going to be 2 years away from that now, and his arm is still as good as ever. If you look at his stats last year, I know he's kind of dragged through the mud that he's lost it. It really wasn't that bad. 63% completion percentage, 28 touchdowns, 11 picks. It's kind of similar to Jordan Love's year last year, if I'm going to be honest. So now he's joining a stable, steady organization. If you were going to put two teams next to each other that feels like they are mirror images of one another in the AFC and NFC, that's Green Bay and Pittsburgh. You know, they're stable, they're historic, and they are able to create a healthy environment for their teams to be consistently good. That's the Packers, that's the Steelers. So I think Aaron Rodgers is going to feel right at home. And if I look at the Steelers, man, I'll tell you what, they had a top 10 defense last year. They were 11th in rushing, 27th in passing. I think that gets solved with DK Metcalf and now Aaron Rodgers. It is leading up to a massive, massive, massive game when the Packers go there, Sunday Night Football, end of October. KBN's going. We've already said we are going to that game, and that will solidify that. Who goes further? I still think it's the Green Bay Packers. I think the Green Bay Packers get to the divisional round and maybe even the NFC Championship round. But I'll tell you what, the Steelers will be a force now. They haven't had a consistent quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger all the way back in 2020 and 2021. Mike Tomlin has never had a losing season. Think about that. And those were the great years of Roethlisberger, but recently they've had good O-line, they've had good running game, and they've had a good defense. They couldn't figure out the quarterback. For a 1 year, maybe 2 year rental of Aaron Rodgers, who I still think has it, I want to see Rodgers do well. I'm rooting for Rodgers. I think they make the playoffs. I think they make a little bit of noise. I don't think there's going to be a Packers-Steelers Super Bowl, but boy, oh boy, this becomes way more compelling, and I think he makes this team significantly better overnight.
Yeah, no, when I look at this, I do love Aaron Rodgers, but I'm going to tell you this right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line and Aaron Rodgers' lack of mobility make this a nothing burger. I'm going to tell you this right now. It makes it nothing.
Nothing burger.
The only thing that's just Aaron Rodgers is not significantly better than what Russell Wilson will be or was last year. He's not significantly better than what Russell Wilson will be, especially I understand DK Metcalf. They have a good tight end with Freiermuth there. They're a good football team, but they're not a championship football team. They're still probably going to win 9 to 10 games maybe next year. But when you're talking about the division that they're in with the Baltimore Ravens, you're talking about the division where the Cleveland Browns have a pretty good defense, and they have a guy in Myles Garrett that can get after a quarterback. And then you also look at the fact that the Cincinnati Bengals, though their defense isn't great, they can put up a lot of points. The Steelers don't have enough firepower on offense around Aaron Rodgers to be great. But then on top of that, Aaron Rodgers, he's still a good quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback that's going to elevate a roster. We saw him with not one elite wide receiver, but 2 elite wide receivers when you're talking about what he had out there with Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams. And what did he do with those 2 guys? They didn't do much of anything. Diddly squat poo. So you're going to tell me that Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden goes to an offense that has a lesser running back, lesser wide receivers, and then all of a sudden he's going to elevate this team to a championship level? Absolutely not. He's a statue back there. He's limited with his mobility. The offensive line for the Steelers isn't as good as it needs to be, and Aaron Rodgers is not going to do much for the Steelers. All it is, for me, it's just a guy they're going to have in here and be another rotation. You said they haven't had a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger?
Yeah.
They still don't have a quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger.
Wow, disrespecting Aaron Rodgers. I think you're...
Hey, about disrespect. I'm just being honest.
I think you're underappreciating what a stable franchise can do to a roster and a team. Aaron Rodgers tried to go to the New York Jets and be the person that lifts up and changes the culture of a team. It takes more than one player to do that. The Pittsburgh Steelers culture is elite. It's among the best in the NFL. It's right there with the Green Bay Packers. Packers-Steelers are mirror images of one another as far as history and stability.
Brad, how soon until Aaron Rodgers annoys the hell out of Mike Tomlin? Until you see them have a little tiff, and Mike Tomlin got to go to the podium and talk about Aaron Rodgers and something that he either did on the field or something that he did off the field. Mike Tomlin don't play that mess. This relationship is not going to last very long. It's not. This is probably going to be the final destination. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. This will be his final destination in the NFL. So we should appreciate this moment because this is it.
You don't think Aaron Rodgers can play nice for one season?
No,
They can keep up with they have a very good defense. You're looking at the step, they have a very good defense.
Did the Jets not have a very good defense?
They didn't perform as well.
Before Aaron Rodgers got there, did the Jets not have a very good defense?
They did, but they didn't have the ability to put it all together.
Wait a minute. The year Aaron Rodgers got hurt, did the Jets still not have a very good defense that kept him alive when they had a bum-ass quarterback in Zach Wilson?
I got good news for you.
What is that?
You're going to get your answer right out of the gates because week 1, it is the Pittsburgh Steelers at the New York Jets. Week 1 of the NFL season, and, of course, week 8, you have the Green Bay Packers visiting the Pittsburgh Steelers. So plenty of revenge on the table, if you will, for Aaron Rodgers as he has an opportunity at both of his former teams. But before we get to the phones, Kyle, I understand that being a reaction. They're not going to be that good. He's washed. But I'm at a point where I just want to appreciate the greatness that is left of Aaron Rodgers, right? This is a guy that won multiple MVPs in Green Bay. It's a guy that won a Super Bowl in Green Bay. I was over his shenanigans. I'm over his off-the-field stuff. I find it a little ironic that, the voluntary part of the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason program, that ended today. Interesting. He doesn't want to participate in any of that. That's fine. What I care about is watching a guy who is one of the best quarterbacks I've ever seen play football, period, point blank, end of sentence.
Yeah, cool.
And I want to see if he's still got a little bit left in the tank. I don't think there's reasonable Super Bowl expectations for the Steelers in 2025, but could they be a playoff team? Maybe. Does Mike Tomlin know how to win football games? Yeah, he does. That's a defense that's really solid. I think you underappreciate that offense and the tools that will be around him.
The tools, DK Metcalf, Jalen Warren, Calvin Austin. What are we talking? What are we?
DK Metcalf. We were salivating over DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf is it, but I believe
Bobby Trees is there too. Robert Woods.
Yeah, he's been on a whole bunch of teams. My whole point is this: is the weapons that he had in New York are superior to the weapons that he has in Pittsburgh. And so to believe that a man is going to all of a sudden be able to elevate a roster at going into the age of 42, when this season is done, he'll be 42 years old. He is not aging backwards, fellas. He's aging in the wrong direction. So, yes, Strofe, if you want nostalgia to be able to watch Aaron Rodgers do his thing, great. I love that because I'm going to enjoy seeing Aaron Rodgers out there because I'm telling y'all the time is almost here for there will be no more Aaron Rodgers in the NFL. So you can love the nostalgia, but it doesn't mean he's going to be great. It doesn't mean he's going to elevate this team. This is not a Super Bowl team. It's not. And I can't wait for the Packers to go up there and as The Rock said, later smack it down on Aaron Rodgers. I'm going to celebrate every time Kenny Clark gets to the quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. Rashawn Gary, he's going to be shooting hoops and doing all his little sack celebrations when he sack Aaron Rodgers. I can't wait if Aaron Rodgers is healthy.
Well, I do think that the Packers are the better team. I think that Jordan Love, this iteration of Jordan Love is the better quarterback, but I do think Aaron Rodgers is not to be underestimated. And I also think that you have to appreciate how bad the culture and the coaching was in New York. I mean, I know that, Rodgers brought Hackett and the chaos that pursued there.
Yeah,
there's nothing but stability in Pittsburgh. And they have Arthur Smith, who was a former head coach, who's known for his offensive prowess.
Oh, my gosh. Let me write this down. You believe Aaron Rodgers will listen to Arthur Smith? Brad,
yeah, I think he can play nice for
Rodgers.
1 year.
No, he can't.
You can't.
Will
for when there's enough buy-in for
Arthur
a common goal.
Smith. He got his own dang offensive coordinator. It didn't work out. 800-990-3776. We are reacting to the fact that Aaron Rodgers will be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers as early as tomorrow. 800-990-3776. One quick call we'll take here before Jason Wilde joins us early next. GM AJ in Baltimore, what is your instant reaction to the Aaron Rodgers news coming to a place near you, actually, in Baltimore?
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Listen, Diana, that's her name. Listen, we all about positive manifestation. I like you, Diana. All it is negative. Diana. Criticize.
Dirty Diana.
I love you, Kyle.
Love you too, girl.
I love you, Kyle.
I love you too. That's what I'm talking about. The real Packer Nation.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
Breaking Aaron Rodgers news on ESPN Milwaukee. Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler? Yep. React to all the biggest NFL news here. 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and the new ESPN Wisconsin app. Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Get everything for your automotive needs at Menards. Turtle Wax Bug and Tar Remover removes bugs, tar, and tree sap and is safe for use on all automotive surfaces. Its formula clings to vertical surfaces for better cleaning, and it leaves a protective barrier to make future cleaning a breeze. Check out all our automotive products and view our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
This fall, build your perfect Wisconsin football game day with a mini pack. Pick any 3 games, including Big Ten matchups like Washington, Iowa, and Ohio State, and save while cheering on the Badgers. Big matchups, big moments, and it's all on your schedule. Football mini packs are available now. Create your custom game day experience today at uwbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS. First touchdown to the 5th quarter. There's always something to enjoy. Football game day starts here. We'll see you at Camp Randall.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Here in Wisconsin, one name is synonymous with fantastic frozen pizza, Palermo's. For almost 60 years, Palermo's has focused on feeding Wisconsin families. And though Palermo's has grown a lot since 1964, they're still family-owned. They're still proud to call Milwaukee home. And they're still committed to making the best frozen pizza possible. From their new and improved rising crust pizzas to their guilt-free Primo thin pies, Palermo's has a delicious slice for every appetite. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer food aisle. Palermo's. Flavor is our family's business.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Breese Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey ESPN Milwaukee fans, Brian Balaga here for Surfside. Summer is heating up and there's nothing more refreshing than an ice-cold Surfside iced tea and vodka or Surfside lemonade and vodka to break the heat. Made with real brewed tea and real vodka, Surfside is only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation, so it's easy to sip and enjoy no matter what your plans are this weekend. Look for the can with the sunset stripes, sold at bars, restaurants, and stores near you. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
Breaking NFL news on ESPN Milwaukee. The Steel City is the new home of Aaron Rodgers. React to all the biggest NFL news here. 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Buster Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman. He is Alex Strofe. And before we went to break, a lot of stuff going on, but before we get to Jason Wilde, I want to get to GM AJ in Baltimore. You are on Kyle Buster Nortman.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Nothing
First of all, I just want to say, energy on the show today is top notch. I don't know if it's because Ben's not there, but you guys are killing it.
Thank you, sir.
You're the man.
My first impression on this signing as a GM is when you bring in toxic people, you get toxic results. And what we're going to see in Pittsburgh is Aaron Rodgers be his toxic self, and this is going to be the downfall of Mike Tomlin. And I guarantee that they will not make the playoffs. And write it down, Mike Tomlin will lose his job.
Wow.
You think this isn't Mike Tomlin's call, probably, but very interesting take. Very interesting take.
That is an interesting take, but
That
I think
would be
there's
extreme toxicity.
There is some validity to that, and I want to ask somebody who covered Aaron Rodgers his entire career as a Green Bay Packer, and that is Packers reporter and also co-host of Wilde and Tausch that you can hear 9 to noon every single day here on ESPN Wisconsin, Jason Wilde, who joins us now to talk about the breaking news of Aaron Rodgers flying to Pittsburgh to prepare to sign his contract with the Steelers, they say as early as tomorrow. Hello, Jason. I'm always doing well. How are you?
You preempted my answer. What, Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Steelers? This is the first I've heard of it.
Really? Wow.
Really?
Breaking news.
When news breaks, we fix it. Did you guys ever think this wasn't going to happen? Like, I feel like I'm always open to changing my mind or having my mind changed for me or being wrong about something. But this was one thing that I never thought that this was going to fall through. Did you ever think that Aaron Rodgers was going to flat out retire or not play for the Steelers this season?
For me, I would have been surprised if he didn't come back in any capacity. I guess I thought he was waiting to maybe see if the Vikings would open up, but the Pittsburgh Steelers seemed like a really good fit for him, Jason, because the stability mirrors the Green Bay Packers. Mike Tomlin is a top dog. He doesn't have to worry about culture changing or anything like that. He's got a good offensive coordinator in Arthur Smith. There's a lot of things, and a good defense. There's a lot of things going for Aaron Rodgers in this move. And that kind of leads me to my next question, which our caller sort of referenced. How will Rodgers fit in this Pittsburgh Steelers locker room, primarily with Mike Tomlin, who's sort of a no-nonsense guy?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think after what transpired last season, I have to think that he's going to take a different approach. And I would really be surprised if he didn't, right? Like, I think that, they tried it in New York with him being the king of New York, and it obviously didn't work. And I'm sure Aaron is like, well, it didn't work, but I ruptured my Achilles, and there was this and there was that didn't play out the way it was supposed to. But I have to think, and humbling's probably not the right word, but in some way he's looking at that going, all right, I do not want to experience that again. I respect Mike Tomlin. I just tracked down the video of the two of them nodding at each other when Tomlin foiled his attempt at getting a 12 men on the field penalty during their game at Lambeau a few years ago, where there's the mutual connection there. I just thought that it was, I just think this made too much sense. And I think when I look at Mike Tomlin, you said no nonsense. I'm very curious to see how he handles him, because this is obviously a guy that has, kind of marched to his own drummer. And now is Aaron Rodgers going to change his approach slightly? Is he going to assimilate? Because you watched him on Hard Knocks in 2023, and you felt really like, oh, God, look at this guy. He's basically behaving in an acknowledgement that maybe he didn't handle things the right way in 2022 as he was leaving Green Bay. And now he's, kind of learned a lesson, and he was connected with his teammates. But he also had a team that was doing everything he wanted in terms of hiring a offensive coordinator and hiring back his wide receivers and everything else. So I think it's going to be fascinating, but I didn't think about that. The first thought I had was, I think we should probably road trip to Pittsburgh. Are
you joining a KBN road trip?
We've already declared it, Jason. You are more than welcome.
Yeah, I don't think I want to go with you guys. Maybe Wally and Corey from Beaver Dam. Wally's a Facebook guy.
With all due respect.
Ben's not even here today, so I'm actually really offended by this.
Yeah, this is just Kyle and Brad and Stroke.
Yeah, no, I'm just telling the truth. Just telling the truth. Yeah,
Jason, we all know you'd rather hang out with me than anybody else.
That's fair, but you're going with these other knuckleheads.
Wow,
I got to weigh the pros and the cons.
Yeah, I'm going to have to weigh the pros and cons of our relationship now, Jason. I know we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers, but boy, oh boy, that one kind of stung. We didn't have the guy dragging us down.
You don't think I've been doing that for a while?
Oh, wow.
Kyle, I've been weighing the pros and cons for a while. You got a team going 17-0. You got you and I, we just see the world through different green. Yours are green and gold colored, and mine are clear. And I just have
I left the door open to make any corrections to my preseason prediction. That was my preseason prediction, and not my.
Have you made any corrections yet?
Actually, I've just been emboldened based off the reports coming out about Matthew Golden and Romeo Doubs looking good. So no, nothing has changed whatsoever. But I do want to ask you this though: Rodgers' numbers weren't awful last year, but a lot of it was in garbage time with the Jets. Does he actually make the Steelers better? Because when I look at this, I just think the Steelers aren't going to get much better. I don't think he's going to be much better than what Russell Wilson was last year with them. So does this actually make the Steelers better?
If Jesse were here after his experience in the jury box, that's a totally leading question. You're trying to get a specific answer.
Okay,
right?
okay.
You want me to say he stinks?
No. Okay, Jason. Who finishes?
Why I'm evaluating our friendship.
Jason, I'll ask you this. When the Packers play the Steelers, I understand we got a lot of offseason to go. Right now, when we're talking about on June 5th, who's the favorite in that game right now? The Steelers with Aaron Rodgers or the Packers with Jordan Love?
Who's what?
Who's the favorite in that game? Who's the team that you believe will win that football game right now? Early. I was an early prediction.
I have no idea. I would just look, first of all, you said that he was not terrible last year, but a lot of his production was in garbage time. Do you have the numbers to back that up, or is that just you? Because
in a lot of games they were trailing. I can definitely find it, but a lot of his touchdowns did come when they were in garbage time.
Does that make it garbage time, or does that mean you're trying to catch up?
If you're down,
how many points do you have to be down for it to be garbage time?
I find it interesting because when Jordan Love played against the Vikings and we were down 28-0 at half or something like that, and he threw a lot of touchdowns, people said the game was already out of reach. So all that they were like, oh well, he got a lot of that when they were down. So I'm not going to give Aaron Rodgers credit for being down 14 or 17 points if we're not going to give it to Jordan Love. So absolutely not. But what I do want to know is this, though. Do you think that he makes the Steelers better going into the 2025 season?
Yes. You really don't think, their quarterback, if he's not there, is Mason Rudolph, who, while he may be popular with a certain segment of the population, does not appear to be a very good quarterback. So, yes, he makes them infinitely better. Does he make them a Super Bowl winner? I'm not going to say that. But are they, look, he's 41 years old. He's going to turn 42 in December. He tore his Achilles 4 plays into the 2023 season. I understand he's now a year older than he was last year at this time. But he's also a year removed from that ruptured Achilles. Now, does that mean that he's not going to do it again, or he's not going to suffer some other catastrophic injury? No, of course not. But if he is healthy, he has the opportunity, if he has changed his game slightly, which I would argue he has from watching I'm guessing more Jets games than you did, that he can be really good still. Like, he's not going to run the way he used to. He's not as elusive as he used to be. I don't think his arm has lost any velocity. And he's with a coach that he respects. Now, we thought he was with a coach he respected with Robert Saleh, and then they started working together, and clearly that respect petered out a bit, right? Especially last year and getting fired. But I think that if he is, let us put it this way, if he is going to succeed at this advanced age, this is a pretty good situation for him, right? You outlined it moments ago, right? They've got a really good defense. They've got a coach who's been, the guy never has a losing season. Now, it's been a while since he made it to the Super Bowl, as long as it's been since the Packers made it to the Super Bowl. But this strikes me as a pretty darn good situation.
Jason, I'm just telling you, their offensive line last year was not very good in Pittsburgh, and you saw if you don't have a good offensive line with a guy like Aaron Rodgers, who
I have not looked at their offseason. What have they done in free agency and the draft on the offensive lines? I don't cover the Steelers.
Well, I'm just saying.
Did they stand pat? What does it matter what their offensive line was last year? If it's the same as last year, you're 100% right. Then what the hell are they doing? If they did not change the personnel, then you can say that is a major concern. I am telling you, I don't know what they've done in their offensive line. They didn't draft anyone, you said, Brad? Did they sign anyone in free agency? Like, what is their offensive line situation?
Well, according to this, they didn't draft anybody notable in the 2025 draft for the offensive line. Didn't address it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think we probably can't say, well, they had a bad offensive line last year. They're going to be bad this year. They're going to get them hurt. Like, if that's true, then you're right. But again, I don't have any facts to back up that opinion.
Jason, just to pivot the conversation a little bit, what can this do for Aaron Rodgers' legacy? For better or for worse, depending on how the season goes?
A couple things. I mean, first of all, it rinses, if he succeeds, it rinses the bad taste out of his mouth of last season and the way the whole Jets thing went. Because I can guarantee you, he went to New York thinking that he was going to do with the Jets what Brady did with the Buccaneers. He was going to get what he wanted. He was going to be treated the way he believed he should be treated. They were going to win a bunch of games. Maybe not win the Super Bowl, but, had he just gotten them to the playoffs, he would have been, they'd given him the key to the city and renamed Times Square Rodgers Square because they've been so bad for so long. In this case, I think, there's a lot of people like Kyle who basically think he sucks. So there's that.
No, I didn't say he sucks. I just said Aaron Rodgers isn't a quarterback. He's not a Super Bowl quarterback in that division. He's not going to make that team better in that division. That's what I'm saying, Jason. He's not based off what they had.
He's got to beat out Mason Rudolph.
But he's not going to. He's not significantly. He's not significantly better than Russell Wilson.
Yes, he is.
No, the team is not. No, he is not. He is not. He's not significantly better.
Well, you're entitled to your opinion. I would disagree. To finish Brad's question, I don't think if they don't make the playoffs or if they have their first losing season, right? Because Tomlin's never been under 500. Like, he's had 500 seasons, but he's never had a losing record, right? I think that's the stat about his
absolutely
tenure.
Stunning stat since 2007. You're correct. Never a losing season.
If he somehow goes, they go 6-11, it will further tarnish his. Look, there's plenty of players, plenty of quarterbacks who finished up with teams and they were, they went out on a sour note or they looked like a shell of themselves, right? I always remember Favre telling the story of going to New Orleans to see Ken Stabler play. He had been obviously a great player with the Oakland Raiders. By the time he got to New Orleans, Favre was so descriptive about this that, his jersey was hanging off of him. He was unkempt. He had his hair was a mess sticking out of the bottom of his helmet. His better days were behind him. And Favre had always said, I'm never going to let that happen to me. And let's be honest, he was awesome in 2009. And then in 2010, that's kind of who he was, right? He had a concussion. He played poorly. Like, it was a rough 2010 season for Favre. Obviously, Rodgers last year was not at the top of his powers. Certainly, the injury was a factor. But again, if we're going to use injuries for Jordan Love, then we have to at least acknowledge that coming back at age 41 with a ruptured Achilles is not easy to do after surgical repair. So he was not great last year. No one will argue that. But if he plays poorly or gets banged up and misses time and they end up being below 500, that will obviously further tarnish his late career legacy. It doesn't change any of the stuff that he did in his 18 years in Green Bay, but it's certainly the more recent memories of him will be of disappointment and of him not being very good. But look, if he gets them to the playoffs and they win a playoff game or they make it to the AFC Championship game, and he experiences a Favre in 09-like revitalization, that's a hell of a story. I don't think he's going to go win a Super Bowl. I don't know how long he's going to play. I don't know any of those things. But I know Brett Favre was really good for the Green Bay Packers in 2007. He was pretty good for the Jets until he injured his arm.
Mm-hmm.
And he was as good as he's ever been in 09. And then in 10, obviously, he wasn't. So the reality is that if he can do that, you're going to owe him an apology.
Well, I probably will keep that apology in my back pocket and probably will never have to use it. Jason, thank you so much for joining us here on Kyle Brust.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, you don't dislike him and you don't think he sucks at all. You're right. I completely misjudged you, Kyle.
I'll see you in Pittsburgh in your other car ride. Have fun.
I think I'm making a good choice, it sounds like. All right, guys, take care. Be good.
Thank you. That is Jason Wilde.
Damn, he was not happy with you.
I don't get because that's Jason Wilde, 9 to noon, Wilde and Tausch. You can listen to them every single weekday, and you can also go to ESPN Wisconsin app to listen to them as well. But on the other side, I'm going to tell you guys why you're all, as Homer would say, smoking crack with your grandmothers. If you believe Aaron Rodgers still has something left in the tank that like he said, they may win a play. He can maybe get them to a playoff game. The hell he can. I'm going to tell y'all why on the other side, why all these guys are smoking crack with their grandma. And also, Brad, let them know about your friends.
Oh, I will be kicking back and watching all these games all year and enjoying the summer with a carbless in my hand. An ice-cold carbless is so good, especially on a day like today, a thirsty Thursday, where there's a lot of NFL news breaking. I'm going to go back to the Nortman Estate. I'm going to go back, crack open a carbless because, oh boy, do I love all the different flavors that they have. And now, new for 2025. Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. Blood orange, grapefruit, raspberry. There's so many good flavors. The blood orange specifically is so good, so unique. Nothing like it on the market. Not only that, the watermelon was so good in the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack. They said, you know what? Demand is so big. We got to make it its own 4-pack. That with mango, so very good. But they have all the classic cocktails. They have the margarita variety pack. There is something for everybody. And speaking about something for everybody, we all are looking to be a little bit more guilt-free, and we don't want all the sugar in our drinks. We don't want high calories. We don't want carbs. Well, that is exactly what Carbless offers. No carbs, no sugars, gluten-free, 100 calories per can, and just the right amount of carbonation. Less carbonation than all the other bubbly seltzers out there, but not so much, but just enough to make you quench that thirst. Less is more with Carbless, and I want you to experience it just like I am, especially on these warm spring and summer nights. Nothing hits like a Carbless.
We'll have more on the other side as I have to rip these guys a new ones for still believing that Aaron Rodgers is who he was just even 3 years ago. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman. You want to keep it locked because I'm finna go in.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Top 5 of my guys throughout my career.
Just one below me. I was just putting myself in the ranking.
He loves himself.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
The people there made it a really great trip. The people in Green Bay were really nice, like literally driving ESPN people around themselves.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
The Pancake Palace in Green Bay was outstanding. So really nice trip.
On 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Breaking NFL news on ESPN Milwaukee. The Steel City is the new home of Aaron Rodgers. React to all the biggest NFL news here. 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your current car, soon to be your old car. A new car? Better start looking. But you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with free credit score and score monitoring on most new consumer checking accounts. Because when you know you need to make a big purchase, knowing your credit score puts you in the driver's seat. You've got this with free credit monitor from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed more than 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. BetterHelp has more than 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We are all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
I'm Monica Kessler.
Monica makes sure that everything at Kessler's is worthy of a lifetime warranty.
The quality of your ring is incredibly important when it comes to diamond setting, ring sizing, and repairs.
Monica has been part of Kessler's since she was 6 years old.
Let me tell you how to judge the quality of the jewelry you're buying.
It's easier than you think.
All you have to do is read the warranty.
Most stores offer a 5-year warranty, but Kessler's offers a lifetime warranty, the strongest in the world.
We can do it because we put more gold in your jewelry.
When a jeweler wants to make a bigger profit, they put less gold into the jewelry. This makes it thinner and easier to break.
Theirs might look like ours at first glance, but Kessler's jewelry is made not to break, and that takes more gold.
We give you a lifetime warranty because our jewelry is made to last forever, just like your love.
Gold is more than $2,000 an ounce.
Kessler's gives you more gold, a lot more gold.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
Ever notice how wine enthusiasts often speak a completely different language? And while that language may technically be English, to most people it's anything but. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where we stock over 8,000 varieties of wine and speak many dialects of wine English to help everyone, from the wine novice to the master sommelier. So if you need an expert recommendation for wine, or maybe you know what you want and simply need help locating it, our experienced staff has got your back. No matter the budget, occasion, or your level of wine expertise, Discount Liquor will make you feel at home. Discount Liquor, unmatched selection, everyday low prices, a helpful staff, and 2 convenient locations. In Milwaukee on 51st and Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine.
Discount liquor.
Breaking Aaron Rodgers news on ESPN Milwaukee. Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler? Yep. React to all the biggest NFL news here. 94.5 ESPN. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Breaking news. Aaron Rodgers will be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, setting up an amazing, an incredible matchup as the Green Bay Packers travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers Week 8 on Sunday, October 26th. KBN Nation will be there.
That's the game of the year.
Hopefully. Yeah,
it's the game of the NFL season. The only way it would be better if it was in Lambeau Field.
That would make it better. It was supposed to be in Ireland, but then it was switched back here to the States. Allegedly, according to Big J journalist Ben Brust. The voice you hear there, that is Bradley Nortman. I am Kyle Walsh. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman. No Ben Brust today as he is celebrating his bachelor party and missing out on the breaking news of Aaron Rodgers. And that's Jason Wilde, who just joined us again. You can hear Jason Wilde every single weekday from 9 a.m. to noon on ESPN Wisconsin on Wilde and Tausch. We all knew this was coming, right? You saw him throwing passes earlier this week or maybe at the end of last week with DK Metcalf. We knew this was coming. But it finally is going to become official. And the reason why I'm sitting here and thinking you guys are crazy is that you really think that this toxic individual and Aaron Rodgers, who went to an organization in the New York Jets, and literally they got worse with him. When Zach Wilson was the starter after he got hurt after the first, 3 plays, the team won 7 football games. Insert Aaron Rodgers the next year, and the team only wins 5 football games. And Aaron Rodgers, though he's a good quarterback, he's not a great quarterback. And you guys are saying, oh, he's much better than Russell Wilson. If you look at the stats, statistically speaking, Russell Wilson only played 11 games last year. Statistically speaking, he had a better completion percentage. He had more yards per pass. He also had a better QBR and a better QB rating as well. And then on top of that, when you do math, I actually did some math and you extrapolate it out. Touchdown passes per attempt. Aaron Rodgers had 20. He had 1 touchdown pass per passing attempt, where Russell Wilson had 1 touchdown pass per 21 passing attempts. They weren't too far off, fellas. They weren't too far off. So my whole point is this. Is Aaron Rodgers a good quarterback? Yes, but Aaron Rodgers is not magically going to get better just because he's Aaron Rodgers. He's going to be 42 years old when this season is over. And as I said before, could the Steelers' young offensive line get a little bit better? Sure they can. But Aaron Rodgers, the problem that they had at the Jets the first year, they were concerned about the offensive line. And then last year, they invested in trying to have a better offensive line. Do you realize that Aaron Rodgers last year was sacked 40 total times in 17 games? Russell Wilson was sacked 33 times, and he's more mobile than Aaron Rodgers in 11 games. So I'm just telling y'all this right now. If the Steelers' offensive line is only marginally better, Aaron Rodgers is going to be in trouble next year. They lost. He's playing with lesser talent offensively. I'm just letting y'all know this right now. The Jets had a better offense than what the Steelers had. And I don't understand why y'all think that Aaron Rodgers still has the magic and the mojo that he had years ago. It's gone, fellas. It ain't there. You guys are crazy to think that Aaron Rodgers still has the it factor. Aaron Rodgers at this point is just another quarterback in the NFL. He's a Jag, just another guy.
Wow. I don't know how you could watch some of Aaron Rodgers last year and think that he has lost the arm. Because the arm is certainly there. The strength, the accuracy, that is still there. Now, mobility is down. Mobility is down for sure. But how can you combat that? Quick passes. Russell Wilson is known for holding the ball. He's known for impromptu. So, of course, he's going to get sacked
Quick
more.
passes to who?
What's that?
Quick passes to who?
DK Metcalf.
Okay, who else?
I don't know the
Calvin Austin.
I think Pat.
What do you want?
Calvin Austin's a stud. Come on.
Y'all tripping. You guys, I'm telling you, I love Aaron Rodgers more. I don't love Aaron Rodgers. I love Aaron Rodgers more than you do, Brad, and more than you do, Stroke, as well. I fell in love with Aaron Rodgers, but one thing I understand is I know when Father Time has come, and Aaron Rodgers is not the same dude. He's not the same guy. And to sit here and think that Aaron Rodgers is going to outperform Jordan Love or that Aaron Rodgers.
Him. We always say, the year after an ACL, the year after a major injury,
he's 40 years old,
I understand.
Brad.
I hear
41
you on that,
and still better than 90% of the starting quarterbacks in the National Football League.
That's a lot.
You didn't watch the Jets last year. You just want to say he sucks because you think he
I've
sucks.
Seen enough. I've seen enough of Mr. Statue. He was a statue last year.
He's good to very good, especially in the right system, especially motivated, especially in a stable organization.
What right system could he win in right now?
I mean, there are plenty of offensive coordinators that would salivate with the ability for Aaron Rodgers to throw the football for their team.
The Steelers are the right system?
I think they can be. Better than the Jets. So, they're going to have a better offensive coordinator than the Jets last year. The
offensive coordinator, he's the one who wanted to bring him in.
Well, that was a mistake. I think he knows that.
And then he got the coach fired. Aaron Rodgers is the problem. I'm telling you this right now. If you think as a man that is getting older, and I have less patience now. If you think Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden is going to have the patience of a saint, you are out of your mind.
Can I just tell you two toxic personalities that played for the New York Jets? Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. They did pretty well under the Steelers. They did pretty well under Tomlin. Tomlin had a good ability to take them and make the best out of them. Even Ben Roethlisberger was dramatic.
Time out. We got to go to break. But you're talking about a Le'Veon Bell who just got to the NFL and Antonio Brown that just got to the NFL. They grew into the toxic individuals they were, and then where did they both end up?
Gone?
Gone. They were gone before the 30s.
But they
were gone before they weren't
years under there.
Yeah, but they had developed into crazy. Aaron Rodgers is crazy. Yeah, he put a lid on their crazy, but their crazy grew under him, and to the point they were like, all right, we're gone. I'm going to let y'all both go. And what happened within 2 years of leaving?
Well, it shows,
both retire
it shows that he can get the best out of the crazy.
But they were young, had something to prove. Aaron Rodgers walks around like his stuff don't stink. And I love Aaron Rodgers and the fact that his stuff, it stinks now. It's PU. It's bad. It's not great. 800-990-3776. These guys are crazy. Like, I love Aaron Rodgers, but do you still think Aaron Rodgers can elevate a team to be a really good football?
Is he not listening to the words he's saying? You just said you didn't say. You said you have to look at the quarterbacks before saying he won't be a top 12 quarterback.
I said he's no different than Mason
After spending the last 40 minutes saying he's not better than Russell Wilson.
He's not better than Russell Wilson. He's just him and Russell Wilson are in the same category. If you had a pyramid and you're looking at the pyramid, they're in the exact same part of the pyramid.
I would recommend for your case, don't look at the text line.
Listen, I don't worry about the text line. You guys can be crazy all you want. You guys are all feeding into this. If you believe that Aaron Rodgers still has enough left in this tank to make an impact for the Steelers, you are crazy. I can't
wait. But he's got to look at the quarterbacks to see if he's top 12.
I can't wait till Baltimore beats the pants off the Steelers. I can't wait till he's sitting there running for his life from Myles Garrett because Broderick Jones can't block him. I can't wait until Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and who's the receiver that guys excited? Jamar Chase is sitting there dropping 50 on him. Aaron Rodgers is throwing the iPad because they can't move the chains. I cannot wait.
Aaron Rodgers.
But I do love Aaron Rodgers. 800-990-3776. This is a heated conversation. I absolutely love it. I want you guys to rebuttal me, man, because I'm telling you, I don't think Aaron Rodgers isn't going to make that big of an impact on the Steelers. You can tell me why on the other side. 800-990-3776. Maybe I'm the one who's smoking crack with my grandma, and I want Brad to be able to tell me why. 800-990-3776. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, and we're talking about the breaking news of our old friend Aaron Rodgers signing with the Steelers. Keep it locked. We'll have more on the other side.
And now for the Pella play-by-play, here's Jeff Levering.
Thanks, Gina Della from Pella. What a beautiful day to have new windows and doors installed.
Every day is beautiful because Pella installs year-round during all seasons.
It's so hard to guess that next pitch. The customizations seem endless.
And it doesn't have to be super expensive. Pella has a product line for every budget.
And if it is time for a major upgrade, rest easy by scoring no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply on 6/30/2025.
Two Wisconsin icons are teaming up on a reworked classic. Cousin Subs and U-Zingers are proud to introduce the all-new Fried Bologna Sub, featuring U-Zingers fried bologna, bacon, American cheese, onions, pickles, mayo, and mustard on fresh-baked Italian bread. And that's not all. Pair your fried bologna with a creamy cupcake shake topped with whipped cream and rainbow sprinkles. Now that's a better combination. Order both in-store, online, or via the mobile app. Cousin Subs. We believe in better.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hey, it's Alex Stroh from Mr. Irrelevant, and we are hitting the road. Friday, June 13th, spooky. We're heading to Door County Distillery in Carlsville. If you're spending the weekend in Door County, come check out Door County Distillery and hang out with us from noon until 2. That's Friday, June 13th at Door County Distillery in Carlsville. But even if you're not heading to Door County anytime soon, you can bring Door County to you with their cherry brandy for your old fashions infused with Door County cherries, whiskeys, rums, and plenty more. Check them out, DoorCountyDistillery.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is our part 2 of Kyle, Brust, and Nortman as we are breaking down the breaking news that is soon to be officially official that Aaron Rodgers will be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And why this is so important is because, of course, he's our old beloved friend, and Aaron Rodgers, he used to be a Green Bay Packer, won a Super Bowl with the Packers and multiple MVPs. But it also sets up a showdown in Steel Town as the Packers will head to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers Week 8, October 26th. And KBN is road tripping there and very excited for it. I'm Kyle Walls. He's Brad Nortman, the voice you just heard, and Alex Strofe holding it down behind the board. And we're having just, again, a fiery conversation talking about what this means for Aaron Rodgers and what this means for the Steelers. And what I really want to know from you, KBN Nation, again, 800-990-3776. You can call in, you can text in. Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like, also subscribe. But with Aaron Rodgers heading to the Steelers, will Aaron Rodgers' tenure with the Steelers help or hurt his overall legacy, Brad Norman?
Well, I think it's going to help. I really do. I think he has, like age does for us all. You put things into perspective, right? You maybe think a little bit outside yourself. Now, with Aaron Rodgers, with age, he has become a little bit more strange, a little bit more seemingly self-focused. But I think his time with the New York Jets was probably revelatory for at least his NFL career. I'm not saying he's changed in profound fashion. However, I do think he looks at it and says, what I need to do to be successful on the field, to have a successful season. I thought it was one thing, but that idea has been crashed down because of the New York Jets. And when I look at how he is going to be on the field, I think he's going to be more coachable. I think 1 year, Aaron Rodgers can play nice with anybody. I think Mike Tomlin's an alpha dog. This defense is really good. I mean, you're talking about a defense that is year in and year out a top 10 defense. If you look at the New York Jets defense last year, the New York Jets defense so good. They were 20th in points against them. They were 20th defense in the NFL.
I wonder what happened last season that probably could have impacted their defense. What change could have happened that might have impacted the continuity of the defense? Did they fire
that
anybody?
Rodgers is affecting how the defense plays?
Well, when you fire your head coach and Robert Saleh, who's a defensive-minded coach, and then your defensive coordinator and
wait, do you think that was Woody Johnson, the owner, or do you think that was Aaron Rodgers?
I think
because it sounds like Woody Johnson was not pro Rodgers or Saleh.
All I'm saying is this: all I saw one time was the fact that Aaron Rodgers yelled at Robert Saleh on the sideline. A couple weeks later, he no longer was the coach. I don't know what happened behind closed doors, but I'm saying firing your defensive coordinator in a season where you're losing. Your head coach who's a defensive-minded coach that ended up being helping the Packers as an advisor for the Packers after that. I'm sure that did not help that defense throughout the season.
It seemed like both Saleh and Rodgers were giving an unceremonious kick out the door. But with that, looking forward to this year, this Steelers team is built for stability and health. It's the same thing as the Green Bay Packers. They are the mirror image to the Green Bay Packers in the AFC. And if there's anyone that can contain any sort of toxicity that Aaron Rodgers brings in, it's that. I think it's going to help Aaron Rodgers' legacy. I think his legacy with the Green Bay Packers is cemented, right? It just is. But there's calling into question, just like Brady elevated his legacy further with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I don't think it's going to be that successful. But if Rodgers can go to a different team and have success, and success for me, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, is making the playoffs. If the Steelers make the playoffs, which I think they will make the playoffs, I think his legacy is then that this, like Jason said, the stain and the bad taste in your mouth of the Jets is washed away. You say that's a Jet problem, not a Rodgers problem, and I think he's going to do it. I think they're going to make the playoffs with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and his legacy will walk away saying, you know what, Rodgers had one last hurrah in him, and darn it, he did it.
Yeah, so when I think about his legacy, I think it's great. And I just want to reiterate for people who believe that I'm a hater of Aaron Rodgers. I'm not a hater. I'm just being realistic. I really do. I love Aaron Rodgers. I appreciate everything that he did for the Green Bay Packers, and I am a fan of Aaron Rodgers, and I want him to be great. But just because I want him to be great, I want him to do well, doesn't mean that it's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers' body is not going to allow him to be the quarterback that he used to be. He's coming off an Achilles injury still, and it ain't like he's just going to get healthier. So I appreciate the fact that He's signing with the Steelers because he's not going to win a Super Bowl. He's signing with the Steelers because he loves the game. And I appreciate somebody that goes out there and plays because they love the game. They're playing it for the love and not for the Super Bowl because you know what? Aaron Rodgers can't be playing it for a Super Bowl because the Steelers ain't winning that. So I appreciate the fact that he loves that. But hurt his legacy, help his legacy, this is going to be nothing for his legacy. It's just going to be the exit. This is just.
You had to pick one.
This is a guy.
The Jets hurt his legacy.
The Jets hurt his legacy, and this.
So is this going to help or hurt?
This is going to hurt his legacy more. It's going to help his legacy because everybody's going to say, "Boy, oh boy, that Aaron Rodgers, man, he's not the same guy." They're going to talk more about how the great memories he had with the Green Bay Packers than his time with the Steelers. Then it's time with the Steelers.
Wow.
It's like,
what if he wins the AFC North?
He's not. Okay. I'm glad you asked that question because what's interesting is when we were looking at this schedule, right? The Green Bay Packers schedule for 2025. You know what everybody told me? Oh, it's a tough schedule. It's a hard schedule. They got to play the vaunted AFC North. That's what everybody told me. Everybody talked about how the Cleveland Browns have such a good defense. Everybody told me, oh, man, it's going to be, matter of fact, I think you said it, it's going to be fireworks when the Packers take on the Bengals because they could score so many points. Oh, the Baltimore Ravens, my goodness. With the Ravens, they're so good. They have Lamar Jackson. They're a good football. The Steelers, that was the team we're most not concerned about. We're just talking about whether or not Aaron Rodgers is going to be there or not going to be there. So all of a sudden, you think that Aaron Rodgers is going to lead this team to beat the Baltimore Ravens? Hell no. You think that Aaron Rodgers is going to lead them to beat the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow? Hell no. They be lucky to beat the Cleveland Browns with Joe Flacco or Shedeur Sanders. So I don't know why we acting crazy right now. They aren't a top 2 team in that damn AFC North this year. They may not make playoffs. They'll be lucky to win 9 games. Lucky to win 9 games. Have you guys taken a look at their schedule?
I have. It's a hard schedule. But you talk about last year, Kyle, the Steelers beat the Ravens last year. They went 1-1. I mean, they find a way to do well in this division.
Great.
And they didn't even have a consistent
So you got to win the
quarterback
AFC North?
No, I don't. They're going to be a wild card team. They're going to be a wild card. They're going to get 10 wins and be a wild card team.
Okay, no, they're not making the playoffs.
They're
not going to.
I'm confused by your hesitancy to acknowledge the stability that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look at that sentence. What a wordsmith.
About that.
They win 9 games every year without Aaron Rodgers. Russell Wilson was not very good last year. Justin Fields, debatably better than him when he started for the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers is a good quarterback. I watched Jets games last year. We talked about it on the show. He was still a solid quarterback. Kyle, quick pop quiz. Who threw more yards last year, Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers?
Who played in 17 games last year, Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers?
Who threw more touchdowns?
Who played in 17 games? Don't play that game with me because if you extrapolate out, if Jordan Love,
very similar.
Jordan Love throws for more passing yards.
Who threw for more touchdowns last year, Patrick Mahomes or Aaron Rodgers?
Patrick Mahomes only threw for what, 25? 26. Aaron Rodgers did.
Who threw for more yards last year, Jaden Daniels or Aaron Rodgers?
Based off this game, I'm assuming maybe Aaron Rodgers.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that'd be correct. But
who went further in the playoffs last year? Jaden Daniels or Aaron Rodgers? We can play this game all you want. It's a team sport overall.
You just used an individual question to make the argument that it's a team sport.
Well, you asked me the question. And what I'm saying is
Kyle,
this.
Comparing Rodgers to Love last year was almost the same quarterback.
Completion percentage was within 0.1%.
If you extrapolated 2 more games out for Jordan Love, he had slightly less yards than Rodgers. They would both have 25 touchdowns, and Love would have an additional interception, which actually put him 1 over Aaron Rodgers.
Cool math. Math, but I know the eye test. I watched Aaron Rodgers play. I didn't watch every single game of Aaron Rodgers, but when I did watch Aaron Rodgers play, Strofe, you think he was the same guy? You think
I'm not saying he was the MVP of the league last year. That's not the argument I'm making.
So do you believe that this is going to hurt or help his legacy in Pittsburgh?
I think it will help given the knock it took the last 2 years. And I agree with Brad. I think they're probably a playoff team.
I think it's crazy. Fool me once, shame on me. Or shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me a third time, I won't get fooled again. I ain't getting fooled the third time. This is not going to end well for the Steelers. It's not. It's not. The Steelers are going. He's playing in a division.
I wouldn't say that with absolute certainty.
What's more likely, 11 wins or 5 wins for the Steelers?
I mean, how did you get to that? 11 and 5.
I just picked numbers.
Isn't that the game we did with the Packers?
Yeah,
we're similar to it.
I'll say it 5. 5 wins is more likely because he won 5 wins last. He had 5 games last year, and you guys would have never would have thought the Jets would have won 5 games.
I wouldn't have thought that. You're right.
So I'm just saying this could be worse for Mike Tomlin's legacy than anybody else's legacy. Just keeping it 100 with y'all. I love Aaron Rodgers, but Aaron Rodgers is not the same guy in this football. The Pittsburgh Steelers football team, they're a good team, but we always just talk about the fact
you must be a big believer in tough love, because whenever you say you love something or somebody, you end up insulting them.
I'm a tough love type of guy, but having to play the Bengals twice, having to play the Ravens twice, that ain't gonna be easy, man. It's not. If y'all think for a second that the Bengals ain't gonna be,
you would have retired if you expected it to be easy.
Okay. All
Football's never easy. It wasn't easy when he won his 4 MVPs either.
So what you're saying, I just want y'all to put a stamp on it here. You guys believe that Aaron Rodgers' legacy is going to be helped by him playing in Pittsburgh?
I do, yes.
I do.
800-990-3776. Beads in Milwaukee, you are on. Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. What do you say?
It's going to help, and I'm just kind of curious, Kyle, and Brad, for that matter, along with Strofe, but Fields or Rodgers, then? I mean, they basically swapped teams. They play each other week 1. Who's going to have better stats there?
Who will have better stats for the 2025 season?
Yep. Yeah.
I think it'll be Aaron Rodgers. I think Justin Fields is okay. I mean, if you can utilize Justin Fields with his legs, maybe that makes him more dangerous, so to speak. But passing stats, certainly Aaron Rodgers.
I agree.
What do you think, Kyle?
Justin Fields.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm dying on this hill today. Justin Fields.
Wow. He will have better passing stats than Aaron Rodgers. Justin Fields. Passing stats.
No, he won't have better passing stats.
Sure he will.
Listen. The Jets, I don't know what their offense has now. I mean, honestly, I know they got Braylon Allen. They still got a Breece Hall. They still got Garrett Wilson.
That's true.
I mean, honestly, what I'll say is this. The Jets have the same or better record next year than what they had last year with Aaron Rodgers.
Who has a better record this year, Jets or Steelers?
Steelers.
Steelers.
And I don't think it'll be close.
I don't know who the Jets have to play.
Yeah, I don't know either, but.
Oh, interesting. I thought it was all Aaron
wins
Rodgers'
week
fault.
1? Jets or Steelers?
Goodness gracious, fellas, it's so early.
Didn't you ask Jason Wilde who wins week 8 between the Packers and Steelers?
Yeah, that's completely different. You're asking me about a New York Jets football team where I can't tell you everything about the New York Jets.
Your excuse for not picking week 1 is it's so early, and 20 minutes ago you asked somebody to pick a game that happens in week 8?
Yeah, it's
and
different.
It's not too early?
It's local. I'm just saying it's a local game. You know a little bit more about the Packers roster than you know about the Jets roster.
I realize how ridiculous your argument is.
Not at all. You guys are being ridiculous because you think that you're living in the past. I'm just confused why everybody.
None of us are saying he's going to win the league MVP.
No, you're not saying that. What you believe?
He'll be good to very good.
But you guys think that he really elevates the Steelers into a team that, as far as they can win a playoff game,
they can get to the playoffs for sure. Maybe win a playoff game. Depends who the matchup is.
So
they're playing.
All right.
They got a good defense. They've got weapons. Aaron Rodgers, I think he'll be humble.
Weapons. Okay, name their top 3 weapons.
Okay. DK Metcalf is a better receiver than the Packers have.
100%. Yep. 100%. Okay.
I would agree.
Okay. Now what? Who else?
Pat Freiermuth, one of the best tight ends in football. Mm-hmm. Maybe not one of the best.
But he's
top
a good one.
12?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Yeah.
I think Jalen Warren's a disrespected running back.
Oh, my gosh.
And they drafted that third-round draft pick out of
what?
Kalen Johnson.
Wait, what round?
Third round.
Okay, that's what we doing. If the Green Bay Packers,
Aaron Jones was a 6th-round pick.
Now, okay, there it is. We're reaching. Here we are. We're reaching, trying to find reasons,
Johnson,
make reasons why this is going to work
over
out.
The Badgers. That's why I remember.
Yeah. We're trying to find reasons why. I'm just telling y'all this right now. Aaron Rodgers, he's a fine quarterback, but this does not elevate the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to find themselves in the same or worse situation than what they were last year. Same or worse situation. If you guys think that all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers is just not going to be toxic, y'all don't know toxic individuals. 800-990-3776. We're asking you here, KBN, Aaron Rodgers, breaking news, he will be signing with the Steelers. And will signing with the Steelers hurt or help his legacy? 800-990-3776. Remember, you can always watch and stream us live on YouTube. That's 1017. Damn it. That's ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. That's ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison on YouTube. We'll take your calls or take your texts next. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Yeah, see, the thing about me is I like
crazy.
I like crazy. I like a little excitement in my life. I like a little bit of drama.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We do have a crash on westbound 94 right at St. Paul Avenue. The left lane is blocked, so it's going to be solid coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way past that point, so be careful with that. We've got northbound 43 slowing down from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound heavy from Good Hope Road down past Silver Spring, almost to Hampton, then back on the brakes from Capitol Drive down to Locust and the Marquette all the way down to the KK River crossing. Off the freeway, we do have a crash on Highway 100 northbound at Sutter Street. The 2 right lanes are blocked. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 55. Tomorrow, partly cloudy. Slight chance for showers mainly to the north, high of 68 at the lake, 73 inland. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Aaron Rodgers is discount double-checking down his way to Pittsburgh.
I know when Father Time has come, and Aaron Rodgers is not the same dude.
We're talking Rodgers here, 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Brewers and Padres action is coming at you June 6th through the 8th. Catch an electric weekend of baseball as 2 of the game's youngest superstars square off. The first Friday game of June means Wisconsinites can grab half-off tickets to the Brewers series opener on the 6th, then score one of the top giveaways of the season, a Jackson Churio replica jersey presented by Chevrolet for the first 25,000 ticketed fans through the gates June 7th. Get seats at Brewers.com.
Summerfest is almost here, and we're going to send you to all 9 days. It's Summerfest on us. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to bring a friend and have the best summer ever at the big gig. Summerfest on us. Register today in the ESPN Wisconsin app under the contest tab. Aaron Rodgers is discount double-checking down his way to Pittsburgh.
So now he's joining a stable, steady organization. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to feel right at home.
We're talking Rodgers here, 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The Protect the Package golf outing takes place on August 16 at Ironwood Golf Course. Come be a part of the most unique outing in the state while helping loved ones battle cancer. Proceeds benefit the This Time Tomorrow Foundation. Sign up your foursome at thistimetomorrow.org under the events tab.
Station updates, show clips, and your place to interact with us every single day just by scrolling through your feed. Follow along on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at ESPN Milwaukee. You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Madison, ESPN Beaver Dam, and ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Walsh, your host of Kyle Brust and Nortman. Alongside me, it's Brad Nortman, the longtime NFL punter and Wisconsin punting legend, and then holding it down with a Oklahoma City Thunder hat on. Can you explain to us why you have that?
And jacket.
And jacket.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Yeah, why do you have that? Because you definitely didn't pick them to go to the finals.
I think I did, actually.
On this
team in the league.
Thunder
show. And 5.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about when I was doing the thing? I was just doing a thing, Kyle.
Okay,
Those weren't my real picks.
Go ahead.
So why am I wearing Thunder gear?
Yeah. And how'd you get it?
I've been a Thunder fan for years and years.
Oh,
no, you
my
haven't.
God.
I'm dead serious.
I've known you now for 3 years.
Yeah,
and worked in sports together. And this has never come up.
So they're like my second team.
Because of KD and Russ.
The Bucks are obviously my favorite team. I'm a Wisconsin guy. But yeah, Russell Westbrook is my favorite player ever, so I grew up rooting for the Thunder. My first ever, I get made fun of every time I say this, but I'm going to say it. My first ever media job was writing for now defunct WelcomeToLoudCity.com. Which was an SB Nation blog covering the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Was that the job you took when you quit basketball after your sophomore year?
No, that was at the Denmark News where I worked.
Oh, okay.
Weekly newspaper.
Wow.
So that's
I still think I can make 100 threes in 90 minutes, though.
Not happening.
No.
Not happening.
I can't wait to see this come to fruition because it's just not going to happen.
I've got a picture somewhere of me wearing this jacket with the bronze fonts probably 12 years ago.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You're an interesting
How
guy.
old's that hat? It just says Oklahoma.
I think this is probably from like 2012.
Wow.
The finals run in 2012.
Yeah, I recall.
Which team is more fun, this team or the KD team?
Oh, more fun? Probably that team.
Because this team's probably going to
You
win.
had 3 MVPs on that team.
Yeah, you did.
Future MVPs.
Yeah.
And Durant, Harden, and Westbrook. So, but this team is more dominant. They're a better basketball team.
They are.
Thunder and 5.
800-990-3776. Thanks for wasting our time there, Strofe. 800-990-37. I didn't need. Brad kept asking you questions. I'm like, boy, oh boy.
That's not often you see a guy in Milwaukee wearing Thunder stuff.
Yeah, it's Strofe.
There has to
Strofe
be a
is a
story.
bandwagon, and he'll go with wherever the wind blows him. But 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line where less is more. And we're asking you, KBN Nation, will Aaron Rodgers' tenure with the Steelers help or hurt his legacy? Eric in Green Bay, whose legacy are you concerned about?
Yeah, I just want to comment on Mike Tomlin. I really don't think. I think he's kind of playing with house money here, and there's really nothing that can be done with his legacy. I mean, he's inheriting Rodgers after a complete wasted year with an injury and then a down year last year. To me, it seems like if he can get Rodgers to toe the company line and they win again, it's just another year where he had arguably not a lot to work with a 41, soon to be 42-year-old quarterback, and just kind of the plethora of mid quarterbacks he's had over the years. I mean, I looked it up. I knew he was the longest tenured head coach in the NFL. He's been there 18 years, been in 2 Super Bowls, won 1, lost 1. After that, it's John Harbaugh and Andy Reid coming in at 12. No one else has been with the team over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I think 8's number 4. Like, I think his legacy is pretty well set. And if he can continue even to have a, above average team, it just kind of goes to show, like, hey, he did more with Rodgers than the last team did. I think if he took Rodgers after his Packers run, like, there's a little bit more on the line, and you saw that last year with Saleh getting fired.
Eric, can I ask you, what about Aaron Rodgers in these last, let's just say, 4 years of his NFL career? What about you makes you think that that Mike Tomlin can actually get him under control, that Aaron Rodgers will actually listen and beat to somebody else's drum?
Again, I think to what you guys said earlier, though, as far as there's enough of a culture, there's enough of a defense there, and the fact that there's a proven history with that coaching staff of cranking out winning teams with really not stellar quarterbacks. I'm not saying I'm confident that Rodgers is going to do it by any means. Rodgers has a lot on the line. He has the opportunity, if he goes out and balls out with Pittsburgh, he can look and say, like, the Jets ruined me, right? They're a terrible franchise. They're in total disarray.
He did everything he
wanted.
wanted.
What happened before. And that really doesn't impact his legacy much. But if he has another down year, he kind of ended his career on a 3-year stinker. So I don't know. I'm 50-50 on whether Rodgers is really going to succeed here. My point was I don't think Tomlin has a lot on the line.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that, Brad.
I mean, I think he's right. I don't think people are saying that if this thing fails, that Tomlin's job's on the line. I don't know if I see that because
I don't.
It seems like Tomlin was for Aaron Rodgers being there, but this is a 1-year rental. I did see that reports are this is a 1-year deal. I don't see this going any further than that. This is a 1-year rental for the Pittsburgh Steelers to just see what kind of noise you can make. And it seems like his legacy in Pittsburgh is too cemented. And Pittsburgh is not the kind of organization that wants to change coaches. They've had Tomlin, Cowher, and Chuck Noll since 1969. 1969, 3 head coaches.
Dude, it is incredible. I was looking that up probably within the last week when Bill Cowher first got there. It is incredible what they have done. And they have a culture as an organization, but anytime you can bring somebody into the culture that is toxic, it could go awry. It can go really, really bad. And again, my faith in Aaron Rodgers to actually change his ways at the age of 41 going on to 42, I have very, 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 very low confidence in that. That's why I just think that you guys are all crazy for thinking that Aaron Rodgers, you say, oh, he can just suck it up for a year. As Eric was just saying, the Jets did everything for him. Right? Like he wanted to do this, and they absolutely listened. They did everything for him, and it still did not work out.
I will say, I think the first 6 weeks of the season for the Steelers are critical. Because I do think when things are going well, I think Aaron Rodgers is an incredibly, I'm not sure I'd go as far as saying supportive, but guys seem to like him, right? The problem with the Jets is it all went downhill so fast. But the Steelers have the Jets, Steelers, Patriots, Vikings,
Seahawks,
Browns, Bengals. What did I say?
You just said Steelers.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Jets, Seahawks, Patriots, Vikings, Browns, Bengals, and then they play the Packers, and then the Colts. That's not a very hard start to the season. If they lose those games, yeah, I would say, if they have two wins, 3 wins before the Packers, and I'd say, yeah, this is going bad. I could see them easily being 5-1, only losing to the Vikings.
Oh yeah, I love that. 5-1.
Like
5. We look at Seattle. We look at Minnesota. We look at Cincinnati. Oh, they could be 5-1. That's
Seattle, the Jets, the Patriots. Those aren't very good teams. The Vikings, I think, are good. The Browns are a dumpster fire.
Seattle Seahawks are a better football team. I believe the Seattle Seahawks will be a better football team than Steelers this year.
I think the Steelers will be better.
We'll see. 800-990-3776. Again, that is the Carbless Talk and Text line where less is more. We're having a conversation talking about Aaron Rodgers as breaking news came down today that Aaron Rodgers is flying to Pittsburgh to prepare to sign his contract with the Steelers. They will begin their mandatory minicamp, I believe, next week, correct? June 10th through the 12th, something like that next week. Their mandatory minicamp next week, 800-990-3776. Aaron Rodgers will be a Steeler. Phil in Cedarburg. Old man Rodgers. Does he still got it?
Yeah, I think this has a chance to be magical. I mean, there's no guarantees in life, but I think there's a reasonable chance that Aaron Rodgers is going to do something magical with the Steelers. You're talking about the Steelers. This is a winning culture franchise. The Jets are the biggest loser franchise in probably the last 20 years. You're talking about a dumpster fire franchise run by an absolute moron what is he, like 5th generation rich dude?
That's true.
He's an absolute moron. Absolute moron running that franchise. I think this has a chance to be something special. The only concern I have is, can Rodgers' body hold up? He's an old man. I know he had that Achilles, and just like Lillard. It seems like you get old and things just start falling apart on you. If he can stay healthy, this is going to be special.
You know what's
I just
special?
Feel like
Phil, you know what's interesting?
Kyle.
You know what's interesting about this is the fact that we have a conversation. If he can stay healthy, I feel like we've talked about this quite a bit. We say if he can stay healthy. Haven't we had an argument about if he can stay healthy with a guy named Jair Alexander with the Green Bay Packers? If he can stay healthy, it's just we
never heard of him.
Yeah, so I'm saying if we're talking about if he can stay healthy, that's the biggest concern that you all have with Aaron Rodgers. My concern is just age. I just don't think he still has it. There's nothing that he has shown us to show that he still can play at an elite level. Aaron Rodgers is still a good quarterback. Is he an elite quarterback? No. And you need
Nobody's saying he's elite, but he's good to very good. That's a playoff.
So okay, 800-990-3776. I want to know what the expectations are, because right now what I'm hearing is that we all believe that the expectation for Aaron Rodgers is that they make the playoffs next year, and you think he's going to probably throw 28 to 30 touchdown passes next year, probably 11 or less interceptions. I want to know who has higher expectations for next season. Is it Jordan Love or is it Aaron Rodgers? Who do you expect more from next season? Because according to Brad, based off his little stats that he brought up, he said, hey, if Jordan Love would have played a full season, him and Rodgers would have had very similar stats.
It's true.
Very different type of seasons. But 800-990-3776, who do you believe has a better season next year? Or who do you believe has higher expectations, Jordan Love or Aaron Rodgers? We see your calls. I see you, Justin. I see you on the lines. I see you guys on YouTube. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. We'll get to your calls coming up next. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Norman on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
I'm not Mr. Education. I think that's very clear.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm not anti-education. I'm not very educated. Is that fair?
That's fair.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We do have a crash on westbound 94 right at St. Paul Avenue. The left lane is blocked, so it's going to be solid coming out of the Marquette interchange all the way past that point, so be careful with that. We've got northbound 43 slowing down from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. Southbound heavy from Good Hope Road down past Silver Spring, almost to Hampton, then back on the brakes from Capitol Drive down to Locust and the Marquette all the way down to the KK River crossing. Off the freeway, we do have a crash on Highway 100 northbound at Center Street. The two right lanes are blocked. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 55. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, slight chance for showers mainly to the north, a high of 68 at the lake, 73 inland. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Brad Nortman, and I've got to tell you about my go-to car wash, Tsunami Express. Get your ride looking its best and ride the wave at Tsunami Express Car Wash, Milwaukee's fan favorite for that perfect shine. Sign up for a monthly membership and enjoy unlimited washes for less than $1 a day. Skip the wait with the fast lane and take advantage of great perks. With locations in Midtown Milwaukee, Waukesha, Greenfield, Oak Creek, and Mount Pleasant, Tsunami Express has you covered. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Visit TsunamiExpress.com to learn more.
Summerfest welcomes Def Leppard. June 19th, American Family Insurance Amphitheater during Summerfest. Get set to get rocked, Def Leppard, with special guest Tesla. Tickets on sale now at summerfest.com and Ticketmaster outlets. Def Leppard, brought to you by Summerfest.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. Looking to transform your home with stylish furniture and home accessories without breaking the bank? At your local IKEA in Oak Creek, they believe everyone deserves a beautiful and affordable living experience that enhances your everyday life. From comfortable and fashionable sofas and sectionals, to kitchens full of inspiration, to bedrooms designed to help you find your best sleep and relaxation, IKEA's home furnishing combines form and function to fit any lifestyle and budget. Visit IKEA Oak Creek today or explore their collection online at ikea.com/US.
Why is life better with American Family Insurance? Because every policy comes with something very special. A trusted agent who's there to help protect your dreams by finding the right coverage at the right price. Save up to 23% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Gabe Knightsel from On the Tee here. There's watching the Brewers, and then there's watching while golfing at X-Golf inside American Family Field. Group options are endless. Book a sim bundle with at least 4 people for $70 per person, or go big with the Sim Double Play, a minimum of 22 people for $50 per person. Both include a game ticket, premium high-tech simulators with a view, and seating for everyone right next to Bernie's Slide. Book your game day at X-Golf inside American Family Field. Open to all fans in the ballpark each Brewer game.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
The American Family Insurance Championship returns to Madison tomorrow, and there's 2 new exciting changes. We already talked about this. Wisconsin's very own Steve Stricker will host the PGA Tour Champions event June 6th through June 8th at his new home golf course, TPC Wisconsin. They debut 2 new competitions. The 2-person teams will compete in best ball and also scramble format. So come on out tomorrow to TPC Wisconsin for the American Family Insurance Championship, June 6th through the 8th. To get tickets and more information, go to amfamchampionship.com. That's amfamchampionship.com. Can't wait to see you there, as ESPN Wisconsin will be broadcasting live from there tomorrow. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Walls. He's Brad Nortman. Strofe holding it down behind the board. We're having a conversation talking about Aaron Rodgers about to sign with the Steelers and what this means for his legacy. You guys have called in, so we're going to get to you. Curtis in Madison, you are on Kyle Bruston Nortman. What are your Rodgers and Loves comparisons?
How we doing, guys? Thanks for taking my call. Honestly, more pressure is on Jordan Love. I mean, the guy just got the contract. He's a younger person. Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is on the tail end of his career. It was a little bit of a show last year with his Netflix coming out and his off-the-field stuff. I expect the Steelers to make it interesting, but I feel a little bad for Mike Tomlin because he's going to take the hit, because I think Rodgers is going to implode. I don't think it's going to work there. But Love has all the pressure. He's got to produce after that playoff run he had. He hasn't been the same since.
Ooh, who has more pressure, Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love?
That's a great question that we can, as
I agree, it's Jordan
Ben would say, pontificate on. We can definitely pontificate.
I don't think it's actually very close. It's a good question, but I don't think it's very close.
You think it's Love?
I think it's Love by a landslide, because
he
has a lot more to lose.
When he hasn't proven that he can play up to the money he's making yet.
Right.
Well,
and Rodgers, as we said, his legacy is mostly cemented. He can just put a little cherry on top.
Exactly.
Well, let's be honest, though. If one of them fails this year, the one people will talk about more is Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't perform well, if Jordan Love doesn't perform well, they'll talk about it. But if Aaron Rodgers doesn't perform
here, but nationally, you're saying?
Yeah, nationally it will. 800-990-3776. That's the Carbless Talking text line. Brandon in Tulsa. What's happening, Brandon, down in Tulsa? Love versus Rodgers expectations. Who you got more expectations for going into the 2025 season?
Man, this is a no-brainer to me. It's Love all the way. Kyle, I was agreeing with most of what you were saying, but I completely disagree that if Aaron Rodgers has a bad year, that's going to get the most talk. I mean, he'll be 42 in December. He's got a Achilles that's never going to be the same at that age, and he's been downsliding for a few years now. I don't think anybody's going to look at that and be shocked. They'll be like, yeah, that's what happens to old quarterbacks. And what Brad said is completely correct. Love got paid, correctly so, but now it's time to produce. And if you can't lead a team and be the best quarterback in the NFC North in year 6, if fans don't think that's falling below expectations, then we just lowered our expectations way too far. And now, congratulations, we're just another team in the league. Like, what are we doing here? I think Jordan can do it, but he has to. Anyone who has higher expectations for a 42-year-old over a 26-year-old is just in Delulu land. Jordan's got to show that he's the best quarterback in the North this year, better than J.J. McCarthy, better than Caleb Williams, and better than Jared Goff. I don't even pick the Packers to win the North, but I expect Jordan Love to cement himself as the best quarterback in the North. Like, that is my expectations all the way. And whether Matt LaFleur and the other coaches say it, I bet that's how they feel too. There is no way, if Jordan Love has another mediocre season, people are going to say, well, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is, and he's still growing. It is time to put up or shut up, because if he can't even be the best QB in the league and not win the North, then we are not developing as a team the way we need to be. This is a slam dunk. It's big time Jordan Love producing this year or bust, in my opinion.
Thank you so much, Brandon in Tulsa. I think you made some great points. Again, 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. We're having a conversation talking about Aaron Rodgers joining the Steelers. Zach in Chevegas. My boy Zach, what do you think Rodgers' legacy will be when he's done?
Rodgers is the best quarterback I've ever seen. AJ and I can agree on that, AJ from Baltimore. But I think Jordan Love is a dog, just like Kyle. But no, I think that Rodgers needs to perform this year and have a great kind of run, like almost AFC playoffs type of stuff. I do think that Rodgers will have a better year than Jordan Love numbers-wise, but maybe not team-wise.
Okay.
That's just coming from me.
All right, Zach. I feel you. I may disagree, but I love you. That's my boy Zach in Vegas. On the other side, we'll continue this conversation talking about Aaron Rodgers signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Keep it locked. You're listening to Kyle Bruston Norman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
Thing has ever happened to you from a breakup?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, no.
I don't want to talk about it.
You brought it, so I had to ask.
I ain't gonna put my old shorties on blast, but
why not? They're old shows.
I've had some
old shows.
My parents listen to this show. I don't want my parents to know the craziness that I've dealt with that they son been a part of.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless talk and text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless talk and text line. This is more. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today.
Born in the heart of the earth, natural diamonds rise up like the notes of a song from the throat of Mother Nature.
Rick, that was positively poetic.
Mother Nature sings diamonds.
Sarah, wow, you can sing.
Born in the heart of a plasma chamber, created diamonds fall softly like snowflakes from the heart of a star.
A star that shines like true love.
Natural diamonds are earthborn.
Created diamonds are starborn.
Kessler's has the largest selection of natural diamonds in the state of Wisconsin. All the different sizes, all the fancy shapes.
Give her a fancy diamond.
We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
Bigger, brighter natural diamonds.
And financing that makes anything possible.
Kessler's is the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America.
Which means we can do anything we want to do.
For you.
Mother Nature sings diamonds.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax, and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS says there is over $330 billion that is delinquent. Are you in that number? Many of the clients we see get notices that are wrong, but they don't know what to do. This is why I started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. The issue won't go away by doing nothing. You may be able to fix the issue if you act in time. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1192. Don't let them wipe out your bank account or retirement plan. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting. We understand how stressful this can be. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. That's 844-222-1192 or rightchoicetax.us.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Aaron Rodgers is a Steeler?
He's a statue back there, and Aaron Rodgers is not going to do much for the Steelers.
React to all the biggest NFL news here. 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the new ESPN Wisconsin app.
I love breaking news days.
We've had some good ones.
We've had some really good ones.
Dame Lillard, when that trade happened.
Yeah.
Craig Counsell. Now Aaron Rodgers.
Now Aaron Rodgers, indeed, as Aaron Rodgers. The news broke that he will be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers as soon as tomorrow. He is on his way flying to Pittsburgh to get ready to play in Steeltown, the black and yellow place you were talking about yesterday.
Black and yellow. What's crazy to me is Aaron Rodgers, he's been generally NFL irrelevant for sure the last 2 years. Last year in Green Bay, they were just okay. And he is still as polarizing as ever. I mean, you think he's not very good. We think he is good. We've had a bunch of different reaction on the talk and text line. Keep it coming, KBN Nation. It's just so fascinating. There's something about Aaron Rodgers that is so polarizing, so divisive is too strong, but you're just in one camp or you're in the other.
Yeah, and what annoys me about this conversation today, I use the word annoys, is the fact that you guys are really living in the past. Like living in the past thinking
he wasn't that bad last year, Kyle. Same stats as Jordan Love.
No, so the team record means nothing. How the games went meant nothing.
But we're trying to evaluate the quarterbacks here, right? I mean, there's a lot of different factors go into how a team does.
Really quick, we're going to sneak John in Milwaukee here. Rodgers' ex-girlfriend. What do you have to say here, John?
Hey, I know it's a tired analogy, but I do look at Aaron Rodgers like it's the ex-girlfriend. You know, when you break up with a girl and she starts dating the next guy, you're still like, oh my God, it's girlfriend. After she breaks up with that dude and is now with a different guy, it's history. Like you can't even care about that anymore. I don't care about Rodgers. He's deader than dead to me.
Yeah!
Wow, deader than dead.
Put him in the grave as football relationship-wise, not real life. I want him to live a healthy life. I want him to stay good. I want him to stay okay. But I cannot wait until week 8 when the Green Bay Packers head to Pittsburgh. In KBN Nation, we head to Pittsburgh as well, hopefully.
We need to legitimately start planning that. In the 414 hour, we got to spend some time planning.
We're going to be planning a trip to Pittsburgh to see Rodgers and Love duel it out. This is Kyle Brusted, Norman at ESPN Wisconsin.
An earlier accident on westbound 94 at St. Paul Avenue has been cleared and things are getting better, but still very backed up through the Marquette all the way to about 35th Street. On the eastbound side of 94, we got delays right through the Barker Road area to Brookfield Road, back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way to 27th, and still dealing with a crash on Highway 100 northbound at Center Street. This has the 2 right lanes blocked. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 55. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers, mainly to the north, a high of 68. Into the lakefront, 73 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's National Park of Speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Chicago is up next on June 6th through the 8th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Gabe Neitzel here. Catch Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD, Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's the Faux One Faux Hour at Faux on KBN, on a big day on KBN.
I like it. I like
Juice
it.
is there. A lot of energy today.
Strofe, what do you say? Usually you are a hater of his.
Wait, whoa.
On his
Dude, you've got some weird energy today. I'm like the biggest Brad Nortman fan there is.
Hater of
Strope's always been a Brad Nortman stan.
Hater of your 414 FO. He usually
Hater's
doesn't.
strong.
He holds me to a high standard,
Exactly.
as do you, because you are Mr. 414.
I mean, he usually kind of rips you on it. He never really likes it.
I do. I will say, though, that was good. That was a good one today.
Yeah, thank you.
See, that's all I'm trying to say.
A lot of energy today.
I'm not
Big
being
day.
sassy.
Well,
I'm not being negative. I'm being real.
Hold on a minute.
Little inside radio. I'm not gonna lie. Like, we spend a lot of time building out a show.
We do.
And I sort of love when it gets derailed with breaking news and Aaron Rodgers reacting on the fly.
Yeah, we're just going to have to run back our show from today tomorrow.
For sure.
We're just going to do today's show tomorrow.
We had a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
But the Aaron Rodgers, so good.
And I will say the one thing that remains the same is Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy going to join us coming up next segment.
Oh, I love that. I can't wait to have Gabe join us. But, fellas, honestly, what you're saying, I love the interaction. I love the fact that you guys are watching and streaming us live on YouTube, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. I absolutely love the fact that you are engaged. You're in the chat. You're in the poll. We got almost 100 votes in our poll on YouTube. I love that. In the text line, listen, I love that you can keep the text coming. I'm gonna work through them. I'm gonna try to work through them, but keep the text coming. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line. We can call or text in and react to Aaron Rodgers planning to sign with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Outside of Week 8, when the Packers play the Steelers, are you rooting for Aaron Rodgers, Kyle? Or are you not rooting for Aaron Rodgers?
No, I'm just like last season. I was rooting for Aaron Rodgers. I want Aaron Rodgers to be good. I want him to be great. Like I have no ill will towards Aaron Rodgers. Why would a person who cheered for somebody for so long, and the exit, it was messy, but it was time, right? It was time for him to go. He didn't sabotage anything for the Green Bay Packers. All he did was go out there and play through an injury after I believe he got his hand injured when he played in London against the Giants. Like, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him at all. I'm just pointing out the obvious. As a Packers fan, here's the problem. I put on my green and gold colored glasses, and sometimes I lean a little bit more towards the Packers, and I get blinded by my love for the Packers. But now that I'm not blinded by my love for the Packers for Aaron Rodgers, I can see clearly. I can see clearly that Aaron Rodgers, is he the worst quarterback in the NFL? Heavens no. Is he just a average to good quarterback in the NFL? Yeah. Is he a guy that's going to elevate a roster to a Super Bowl? Not even close. Can he get a team to a playoff? Maybe if he gets hot, but I just, based off what he did last year and based off the team's performance, like that's the thing we're missing. The team's performance last year, we're all making excuses for why the team didn't perform well, when at the end of the day, the team played worse under Aaron Rodgers than what they did under Zach Wilson. That should be something we should be talking about, but nope. We still think Aaron Rodgers is the MVP Aaron Rodgers. We still think Aaron Rodgers is the Aaron Rodgers from the 2021 NFL season. he's not that guy anymore, guys.
Nobody's saying he's an MVP level guy, but Aaron Rodgers statistically for the New York Jets last year was better than he was statistically for the Green Bay Packers in 2022. More touchdowns.
Yeah, a lot of garbage
less
time
interceptions.
touchdowns.
I mean, less wins for sure, but I think you look at it and you need to take Aaron Rodgers' time with the New York Jets in context. There's no doubt that Rodgers has a bit of crazy, right? There's no doubt about it. Like some degree of toxicity for sure. Would I want to actively hang out with Aaron Rodgers? No, he's not my cup of tea. However, when it comes to throwing the football, when it comes to playing the quarterback position, he still throws a top 3 prettiest ball in the NFL. Prettiest ball in the NFL.
I'm not doubting that.
He can slide it into any window still. He's still accurate. He's still got a little bit of zip on it. The question is, yes, mobility. And I think that he can clean up his act for one season to go on a run that is
wait.
Solid.
Okay, that's what I want to address. 800-990-3776. We're going to plan this road trip as well. But I want to address why you think he can clean up his act for a season. Because Brad and you also strove. I want you both to tell me why you believe Aaron Rodgers will clean up his act. Give me evidence to convince me. What evidence do you have that he's going to be able to clean up his act?
He's been humbled. He's been humbled in New York with the Achilles injury and with how bad last year goes. I think there's a new level of appreciation. He also said, I would have to dig to find the quote, but within the last 12 months, he did say something to the effect of, I appreciate a stable organization, not unlike the Green Bay Packers. I would need a second to find that. But he did say that. And that was in direct contrast to the New York Jets. And that was actually pointing to a team that is exactly like the Green Bay Packers, and that is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because, Kyle, you can't make the argument that if you were going to rank healthiest, most stable, most ability to contain toxicity and selfishness, the Packers are up there. The Steelers are up there. They're both top. I can't think of another team that would be higher than those two. Maybe the Ravens. The Ravens are so stable. So you're talking about walking into a scenario, a team that knows how to win, a culture of winning, a culture of selflessness. I don't think you can discount how important environment is. An environment in Pittsburgh is as good as any in the NFL.
So my boy Zach in Vegas, my dog. So he asked a good question at 800-990-3776 on the Cardinals Talking text line. What about McAfee? You think he's still going to do McAfee? You think that's going to be positive for the is that positive for the culture? I didn't see Ben Roethlisberger going on that.
Depends what he says.
Oh, do you think he's going to control himself on McAfee? When
Antonio Brown was doing Facebook Live.
That was towards the end of his tenure. He got crazy at that point. That boy didn't. Well, he was always crazy. He was always crazy. I partied with Antonio Brown when he was at Central Michigan. The boy was always crazy.
Oh, you did?
Cool. Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, it's very cool. He was always crazy now, but he was able to contain it because he had something to prove in the NFL. Now,
but doesn't Rodgers feel like he has something to prove? That exact same thing. Rodgers has something to prove. People like you, Kyle, are saying he's just an average Joe. He's a Jag. He's just a guy. He has something to prove in this year.
So if they start off 0-2, say they lose their first 2 games and win them to the Jets, what do you think Aaron Rodgers' head going to go to?
RELAX.
No. AYA Oscar. That's what his head gonna go to. Is I need some of that ayahuasca right now.
If they're 0-2, that's not bad. If they play the Packers, how many games have the Packers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They have 6 games before they play the Green Bay Packers. If they're in September and they're 1-3, if they're 1-4,
RELAX. Relax.
I mean, how could you be up? How could you be all riled up with a guy like that? If they go 1-3, 1-4, something like that.
They lose to the Jets, they lose to the Seahawks, they beat the Patriots, then they lose to the Vikings.
If they're 1-3 at that point, and then especially if they, at that point, it's teetering. Like, it is absolutely teetering. But then if you lose to the Browns, a divisional opponent who are terrible, I don't care if you're from Cleveland or not, you can agree they're terrible, then
not trying to win.
You can basically say, yeah, then the season is going to be challenging because it only gets harder from there, and Aaron Rodgers might start to look post-career. But I just don't believe that's going to happen. I think they are a better team with him. They won 10 games last year, didn't they? They won 10 games last year.
I believe so, to be honest.
They went 10-7, 10-7 with Russell Wilson and Kenny Pickett as quarterback.
I get it.
They're going to win at least 10 games. They're going to win 10 or 11, Kyle. They're going to go to the playoffs.
I get it. I get it. I'm a big Mike Tomlin fan as well. So this is a match made in heaven for somebody who I'm a big Mike Tomlin fan and I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. But I just see this all ending badly for both of these guys. Strofe, what about you? I want you to state your case for why you believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to turn over a new leaf. And all the stuff you've seen about Aaron Rodgers on the field and off the field, what makes you believe he's going to turn over a new leaf?
Well, on the field, no new leaf. He's just going to be the same old great quarterback he's always been. Off the field, he's going to a stable organization, which he did not do when he left the Green Bay Packers. So stability is something he's pretty comfortable with when he worked here.
Excuses.
How's that an excuse? That's a fact.
You guys are just finding reasons why. Everybody else is
discounting the important environment.
Hold on.
Yeah, you go, Strofe.
What excuse did I just make?
You just said he went to a bad organization. I feel like we're looking for reasons why. When Brett
Who is the
Favre,
longest playoff threat in the NFL?
when Brett Favre went to the Jets, when he went to the Jets, that team went 8-8, and he had a bad thumb. I didn't hear anything about that organization's so bad. It was Brett Favre got hurt, or they would have went to the playoffs. Matter of fact, did they go 9-7 or 8-8? One of the two. I didn't hear any excuses then. They weren't talking about how bad of an organization the Jets were back then, and they weren't great. But no, Aaron Rodgers goes there and things go bad. It's somebody else's fault.
Who has the longest playoff drought in the NFL?
I'm assuming you're setting me up to say the New York Jets. Okay,
that's because that'd be the correct answer.
Okay, cool. And it's a tough one because they've been in a really tough division.
Not tough division. They've had the best team in football in their division. The Bills weren't good for very long. They've just recently been good the last 6 or 7 years. And that's when the Patriots have been down. Dolphins have never been that good.
When is the playoff drought, like 2012 or 2014?
It's whenever Rex Ryan and Mark Sanchez got to an AFC Championship game. So, like 2012.
10.
Give me more. So, I want one more reason why you believe. Like, give me something that you've seen that made you
Because
believe.
he's not calling the shots in Pittsburgh, and I think that's a good thing. He was calling the shots at the end of his tenure in Green Bay. He was calling the shots when he was at the Jets. That was Aaron Rodgers' team, right? Both at the end of Green Bay and the New York Jets. They were both Aaron Rodgers' team. This won't be Aaron Rodgers' team. This is Mike Tomlin's team.
To further that point, if this version of Aaron Rodgers is your alpha, and honestly, even like when the Packers, during that tenure, if Aaron Rodgers was your alpha, there were problems, right? Because they had great runs, but they would fizzle off in the playoffs. He's not the alpha when he walks in the room.
Are y'all kidding me?
Mike Tomlin's the alpha.
No. The guy that steps on the field, Aaron Rodgers, has to have an alpha male mentality. He has to. He's like Mike Tomlin's the coach, and he runs the organization and runs that football team. But you need to have an alpha at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is still going to be an alpha at quarterback. You guys don't think Mike Tomlin or Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator, you don't think they're going to have some back and forth and some tiffs? Yeah, they're grown men. They're going to get over it. Mike Tomlin knows how to manage personalities. But I'm just telling y'all, my biggest concern is that if things go awry, Aaron Rodgers will go crazy. When I say go crazy, be his same Aaron Rodgers self that gets a little bit frustrated and is going to mess with the team. He's a toxic individual right now. Very, very toxic individual. But, Brad, you like banking somewhere, don't you?
I sure do. And Bank 5-9 is the place to be for that. You want to talk about consistency. You want to talk about a history of doing what's right and making lives better. Well, that's Bank 5-9. Bank 5-9. You know what that 5 and 9 stands for? 1859. That is when the bank first started. So they've been doing this for well over 100 years, well over 150, in fact. And if you're doing it for that long, you know you're doing things right. Your customers are loyal and happy. Your employees are satisfied. And you are doing work in the community that is unlike anybody else. That's what Bank 5-9 is still doing today. In fact, among their 14 branch locations, there's one near you, employees spend over 9,000 hours. Yes, that's right. 9,000 hours volunteering, as well as several hundred nonprofits that they financially support right here in southeastern Wisconsin. So their customers, their financial lives are better. Employees, their work life is better. And for the community around, everything is better thanks to Bank 5-9. If you want to see how Bank 5-9 can make your life a little bit better, and you want to be a part of a true local community bank, then Bank 5-9 is your place to be. Check them out at bank59.com, member FDIC.
We are joined by an expert. Yes, an expert in Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up next here on Kyle Brust and Norman. Keep it locked. We have more fantastic conversation on the other side.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
And make sure everyone's tuning in when we do this, because y'all's faces are going to be like,
it better be sweet.
If you think I'm going to act like
like that for oatmeal. You're outside your damn
You've never
mind.
had Brad Nortman's oatmeal.
It's not
Yeah, but
Quaker,
I've also
is
had
it?
chocolate chip
No,
pancakes
no,
with butter
organic.
and syrup that make me go, oh, baby, oatmeal ain't going to do that.
You'll be surprised. I'm going to do a variety.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
An earlier accident on westbound 94 at St. Paul Avenue has been cleared and things are getting better, but still very backed up through the Marquette all the way to about 35th Street. On the eastbound side of 94, we got delays right through the Barker Road area to Brookfield Road, back on the brakes from 84th Street all the way to 27th, and still dealing with a crash on Highway 100 northbound at Center Street. This has the 2 right lanes blocked. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 55. Tomorrow, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers mainly to the north, high of 68 in the lakefront, 73 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is back at the Bog. Tune in all day on July 15th for our ESPN Milwaukee crew having fun and hitting the links. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open is sponsored by Carbless, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Fifth Third Bank, Cider Heating, Plumbing and Electrical, Gruber Law Offices, Welke's Milwaukee Florist, and Jet Out. Join in on the fun July 15th on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Truck drivers, are you tired of an outdated truck hurting your paychecks? At Schneider, we add new trucks to our fleet every year to keep drivers moving and racking up the miles. Our easy-to-use technology is designed to keep you safe and comfortable while also boosting your income potential. So, are you ready to get behind the wheel of a more reliable ride? Find jobs near you and apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Aaron Rodgers is discount double-checking down his way to Pittsburgh.
I know when Father Time has come, and Aaron Rodgers is not the same dude.
We're talking Rodgers here, 94.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Gear up for Quick Trip's Mountain Dew Quick Climb. Now through August 17th. Play free daily in the Quick Rewards app and earn bonus plays with every eligible purchase. Grab one with hot food. That's 2 bonus plays. Each week, the cash prize climbs by $5,000, all the way to a $250,000 grand prize. So open the app and get climbing. Your summer, your climb, your win. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents residing in Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Michigan, South Dakota, North Dakota, or Wisconsin. Ends August 17th. Bonus plays require qualifying purchase. See full rules at quicktrip.com/sweepstakes.
The big gig is back, starting June 19th. 9 days, hundreds of musical acts. Summerfest in Milwaukee is the event of the summer. Plus, tune into 94.5 ESPN all 3 weekends for Summerfest Saturday. Enter for your chance to win tickets to the ESPN Wisconsin app or visit summerfest.com. We'll see you out there.
Progressive knows when you own a boat or RV, it's like you're automatically on vacation, even if you're actually a marriage counselor in the middle of couples therapy. But in your mind, you're camping in Acadia, puttering around Frenchman Bay. Your boat and RV are both protected. You're lobster drenched in butter and... Uh-oh, did your clients just notice you weren't listening? Quick, do the thing where you just repeat back exactly what they said, but as a question. They bought it. Now back to Maine, earning an automatic discount bundling your boat or RV with your home or auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So we had a huge new business pitch.
Attention, all hands on deck.
When, boom, our only printer was fried.
Up in smoke, like your chances of landing that account.
Well, I just sent the file to Staples. Devin, the print associate, was on it. She had it printed and bound same day.
So where's the drama?
There wasn't any. Staples made it super easy.
Inconceivable. For the product, services, and experts you need, Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. With me is Brad Nortman, a longtime NFL punter, 6 years in the NFL, and Wisconsin punting legend. And it is now our pleasure to be joined by Gabe Neitzel, host of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. weekdays. Gabe, how you doing? I hear the birds chirping out there. It must be a good day for you.
Oh, beautiful day. We got the, so I do this in the upstairs room, and my dog Bubba loves to sit outside on the porch we have upstairs. So, have the window open so, Bubba can enjoy some of that late afternoon sunshine.
Now, is Bubba named after Bubba Watson?
No, so we rescued Bubba when he was 2. So we've had Bubba for a little over a year. And when we got him, his name was already Bubba, so we just kind of liked it. So we just kept it. We just kept the name Bubba, and it fits. If once you see his face, he's definitely a Bubba.
Big boy?
Yeah, he's a big boy.
All right.
He's like 70, 75 pounds.
Golly, dang. It's a big dog.
That is a big dog. And Gabe, before we jump into Aaron Rodgers, because I want your reaction on that, and I want your perspective on his legacy and so much more, but you were coined as an NBA expert by ESPN. Now, one, do you accept that title? And two, what does it take for one to become an expert?
Well, first of all, Brad, yes, I do accept the title of NBA expert from ESPN.com. Who am I to decline it, right? Like I cannot. I feel like it would be irresponsible of me to decline it. And apparently all it takes is answering the email of the guy who produces Game Night on ESPN Radio. I'm on every Friday night. He sent out an email. Hey, what are you guys' predictions? Thunder in 5. Next thing I know, I'm on ESPN.com and I'm an expert. So, that's all it takes, Brad. You just have to, you stick with it long enough. You answer the right email at the right time. And next thing you know, you're on one of the most popular websites worldwide as an expert.
I would say that
you are an expert.
You are an NBA expert.
Gabe, and on ESPN.com.
I would say I've known Gabe for a while now. It's crazy how long I've known Gabe for. Gabe knows his stuff. Like, Gabe knows his sports.
He's a pro.
He knows his sports. And since Gabe does know his sports, we're going to take advantage of the fact that we have Gabe Neitzel here with us. And, Gabe, I don't know if you saw the breaking news today that it's not officially official, but Aaron Rodgers.
Breaking news?
Yeah,
breaking news? What happened? Tell me all about it, Kyle.
Yeah. A guy named Aaron Rodgers, I don't know if you heard of him. He used to hang out in Green Bay a little bit. He's flying to Pittsburgh tomorrow, I believe, or today, but he's getting ready to sign his contract with the Steelers. And, Gabe, what was your instant reaction and what went through your mind when you heard that it's officially going to happen, that Rodgers will be returning, but for the Steelers?
I ended up being a little bit wrong. I thought it'd be about a week later. I thought he would just completely skip even the mandatory minicamp. And here he is. He's signing a week before so he can participate in minicamp next week. Guys, this was always the outcome that it was going to happen. I mean, the NFL, I believe your boy Benny Brust was right. I think initially he had it right, that the NFL was leaning towards Packers-Steelers in Ireland. But once the Steelers went to the NFL, went to old Raj Goodell and said, hey, Raj, we really think that Rodgers is going to sign with us. That would drive interest. Excuse me. Oh, I really thought I had to sneeze there. We fought it off. But, again, that certainly drive interest for that game over there. But Rodgers versus the Packers, for likely the only time it is going to happen, you can't put that on at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. You can't. So, again, the NFL was obviously anticipating this because I don't think Mason Rudolph versus the Green Bay Packers garners a primetime slot the way it did. So this was the expected outcome all along, that Aaron Rodgers was going to end up in Pittsburgh.
Gabe Neitzel joining us from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on weekday mornings from 7 to 9. You're going to hear them react to Aaron Rodgers news tomorrow morning as well. What a way to start your day. But, Gabe, I want you to think about how this is going to go. Now, we can all agree that Aaron Rodgers, his legacy, has somewhat experienced a bit of being tarnished from his time with the New York Jets. Will Aaron Rodgers signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers help or hurt his legacy?
So I reject the premise of the question, Brad, because I don't think his legacy was injured or hurt one bit by going to the New York Jets. How could it be hurt? So these 2 years, whenever Aaron Rodgers retires, presumably at the end of the year. So in 2030, when he's in front of, when it's up to whoever is presenting the Aaron Rodgers case to the Hall of Fame, that person is going to stand up and go, he's Aaron Rodgers, sit down, and he's going to be voted into the Hall of Fame on his first ballot. That's not changing. Jerry Rice is one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. What team did Jerry Rice play for at the end?
The Raiders.
Who was the last team he played for?
Seattle?
Was it Seattle? Oh, it was Seattle, wasn't
Which is
it?
crazy.
The Denver Broncos.
Oh,
it was the Denver Broncos.
Did he play with the Broncos? Did he play the full season?
So it doesn't matter. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, at the end of the career, like, when you're one of the best that's ever done it, and that's what Aaron Rodgers is, like, you're just doing this for you at this point. Like, Aaron Rodgers' legacy cannot be damaged. It can only be helped. So, like, if Aaron Rodgers goes on an inexplicable run, like, if they go on an inexplicable run in the AFC, like, that's the only thing at the end. People are going to go, oh, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, that quarterback for the Packers. Oh, yeah, and then he had that one unbelievable year nobody saw coming with Pittsburgh. I'm not saying that's what happens, but when you're a 4-time league MVP, which only, like, 2 other guys have done, when you're on that level, yeah, it doesn't really matter. Like, the negative stuff doesn't matter. The negative stuff's going to fall off of you because your greatness has already been cemented.
So, based off his greatness, we understand it's cemented, but what are your expectations for this football season for the Steelers? Because Strofe and Brad and I have been going back and forth because I staunchly believe that this doesn't really elevate the Steelers to be a better football team than what they were last year. We talked about they won 10 games last year. That's probably their ceiling. Do you think that Aaron Rodgers actually elevates the Steelers into the conversation of maybe winning the AFC North, maybe having a chance to make it to the AFC Championship? Does this tilt your mindset of how good the Steelers can be in any way?
No, but they're a playoff team. Like, and I got a question for you, Kyle. Like, I just heard the last segment. You were, I'm a big fan of Mike Tomlin. I'm a big fan. It doesn't sound like you are.
I am.
You just said that you said you think they're more likely to win 5 games than 11 games.
Yeah, I know. I do think that.
And you're a big fan. And you're supposedly a big fan of these people.
That
doesn't make any sense to me.
Gay, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something. I've been around toxic people before, and toxic people can have you going crazy, literally going crazy. A toxic person will have your hair going gray. A toxic person will have your hair falling out. A toxic person will have you in a straitjacket, leaning back and forth, trying to figure out what in the world happened. And I am concerned that this toxic person in Aaron Rodgers is going to throw my boy Mike Tomlin off his square, off his circle.
Sorry to interrupt. I'm curious if you think toxicity, a.k.a. you, has anything to do with the fact I have little to no hair and gray hair.
First and foremost.
At age 26.
No, you cut your hair like that. And secondly, you was grand before I met you. Don't put that on me. But we should take a look. Take a picture of Mike Tomlin's hair before this season and then after this season. I bet you're going to have a little bit more salt and pepper in that thing.
But look, the Steelers situation is just so much different than the Jets. And I heard you guys talk about, the Jets did everything Aaron Rodgers and it didn't work out. Well, yeah, of course it didn't work out. Because that's not what Aaron Rodgers needs. Aaron Rodgers needs somebody to build up the team. And that's what the Steelers are. The Steelers aren't going to let this guy do whatever he wants. Like, they've got that foundation. They've got that great culture of winning. Like, again, they've got, I think, some other issues, and there's some other margins where, they're going to have some issues, especially with, the Ravens have one of the more complete teams in the NFL. In order for them to win the AFC North, like there would have to be significant injuries to the Baltimore Ravens. But this is still a solid football team. Like, this is still a team that is going to be a playoff team. And because of the way they play defense, like, that's what's really going to carry this team. Their defense is the reason they won 10 games a year ago. The defense is the reason that they're going to be a playoff team once again in 2025.
Gabe, you're a smart guy. And when Strofe said it, when Brad said it, I pushed back quite a bit. Even when Jason said I pushed back quite a bit. I believe what you're saying, but I'll put my stamp on it now. That team ain't making the playoffs. They're not. That means 3 teams in that AFC North are making the playoffs, and that'd be tough. I doubt it.
Only 2 of them made it last year, and they were one of them. I don't believe in the Bengals. Why would you believe in the Bengals?
Their defense is.
The Bengals can't stop a nosebleed and are in the middle of a dispute with their best defensive player, who's like threatening to sit out the season.
Their defense is very bad, but I'm still taking the Bengals over the Steelers.
Again, one of those is a very dysfunctional franchise. One of them is a bedrock of the NFL. So take whatever side you want on that one.
Gabe, now we're looking ahead to the season win totals. I just saw this, and I confirmed it on Potawatomi Sportsbook. We all know the Green Bay Packers over-under 9.5. I feel good about that personally on the over at the Green Bay Packers. Pittsburgh Steelers, just updated it, has not changed. 8.5 is the Pittsburgh Steelers over-under for win total.
There you go. Put your money where your mouth is.
Which do you like more? Packers over 9.5 or Steelers over 8.5?
I like having the one less win to play with there. I like Steelers over 8.5 because I heard you guys talking about the schedule. Like the Steelers' schedule is a lot easier than the Packers' schedule.
Is it?
Yeah. Take a look at that thing. The Packers' schedule is absolutely brutal.
Yeah, the Packers.
Yeah,
schedule.
well, and that's the other thing. Like they get to play the AFC East, where the only good team in the AFC East is the Buffalo Bills. The Packers have to play the NFC East this year, where if the Cowboys are improved at all, we already know how good Washington and Philadelphia are. And look, the Packers have a lot of things they still need to improve. Like the Packers last year, if they go 1-5 in the division again, that's it. That's curtains for them. They were 10-1 outside of the division in the regular season.
Incredible.
And that was the first game of the year. First game of the year they lost. And then they were 10-0 outside. That's not happening again. They have to be better within the division.
No, I think we lost
some issues. But again, especially the start of the schedule for Pittsburgh, New York, Seattle, New England, Minnesota, dealing, Minnesota overseas with a guy who's going to be making his fourth start.
Okay.
That's a pretty good start to the schedule.
They do have a softer start to the schedule, but that team, they start 2-2, 1-3. Is there any concern that you think creeps up with that team and the stability that they have, and Aaron Rodgers not quite working out early on?
Yeah. So I understand the argument that everybody likes to make about how Aaron Rodgers is toxic. How come so many of his teammates like him? Like, I understand he's different off the field, and he has been difficult for head coaches to deal with, to rein in, because he knows when the OTAs and minicamps, they fall at the same time every year, right? Like it's the end of May, it's beginning of June, and he goes to Egypt last year in the second week of June. Well, how was I supposed to know that's when OTAs are, right? So he's going to be in camp already. Like, I don't see a lot of his teammates love him. A lot of his teammates go to bat for him. And I just don't see Aaron Rodgers being that big of an issue once he actually gets into Pittsburgh.
Do they think,
because Mike Tomlin can handle anything?
Do you think people go to bat for him? Obviously, he's probably a good dude, but do you think a lot of that has to do with his greatness? Like, when people are so good, a lot of times you ignore some of the flaws that they have and say, we want to follow this guy because we know at the end of the day he might be a jerk, but hey, he's going to get the best out of us.
I don't know, man. Randall Cobb seems like a pretty stand-up dude.
He does.
And he is one of Aaron Rodgers' best friends.
I'll be curious.
Like, one of Aaron Rodgers' best friends.
I'll be curious to know what the offense of the Jets would think about him. I'll be very curious because they didn't have as much time with him, and I'll be very, very curious when last year season didn't
he was
go
hanging
well.
out with Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson at Knick games.
Okay.
Like, they were going and doing stuff. Like, he made an attempt to reach out, and again, things didn't go well for them last year, but like, I don't recall any, outside of, the front office not being a fan, and apparently Aaron Glenn not being a fan despite not being there last year, not being a fan of Aaron Rodgers.
That was spicy. The way
that was just really weird.
Yeah, it very, very, very spicy.
Weird.
Gabe, we should do this again sometime. I enjoy having you on. You're just such a calm
anytime,
presence.
boys. I mean, anytime. Hey, anytime I can come on and calm down Kyle, like I am all for it.
I mean, I was on like 1,000 all of half an hour ago, and now like I'm so calm. It's like it's very peaceful. You know who's not toxic? Gabe.
Gabe is not toxic for sure.
Gabe is not toxic at all. Thank you so much for joining us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman, Gabe. You have a good one. Again, you all can listen to Gabe Neitzel on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy weekday mornings, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. But also, before we let y'all go here for a quick little break to hear from our partners, I got to tell y'all about a partner I love, and that is Universal Windows Direct. And let me tell y'all this right now. You know how it goes. You work hard and for your home and take pride in it, but let's be honest, sometimes things can, cost a little bit for projects. You get a little nervous for cost, but guess what? You have a place with Universal Windows Direct that has incredible deals that make you want to say, man, this is great. I want to upgrade my windows. And you can do that with Universal Windows Direct. Right now, they have a great deal going on where you can get payments as low as $99 per month or no payments and no interest for an entire year. That gives you a full year to enjoy the comfort, savings, and curb appeal before you ever have to make a single payment. Listen, I've worked with Universal Windows Direct, and I can tell you from my personal experience, their team is absolutely fantastic. They show up on time, they do the job right, and the results speak for themselves. So I'm telling y'all this right now. Make that call today for your in-home consultation and free estimate at 414-410-2000. That's 414-410-2000, or go to universalwindowsdirect.com. And KBN Nation like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. More KBN coming up next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
I'm about being young, wild, and free.
No, you're not.
You're
not young, wild, and free.
Yeah, I am young.
You're not that.
I am
Every time I ask you to do something, I check with a girlfriend.
Wait, why you taking why you going personal? Why you gotta talk about business? I can still be free with a lady.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Cool. Well, we got a problem along 43 heading northbound, right about at Good Hope Road. Looks like we got some debris in the left lane, so just watch out. There might be some delays there, but at the moment, things are looking okay. On the southbound side, we are seeing delays just north of Capitol Drive all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River crossing. And eastbound 94, lots of company from Highway 16 all the way to Barker Road, and then back on the brakes through the Zoo interchange all the way to 27th Street. It's baseball season. Don't let a leaky roof strike you out. Hit a home run with Avondale Roofing, Wisconsin's top choice for quality and protection. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, low of 55. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, a slight chance for showers, mainly to the north, a high of 68 at the lake, 73 inland. Weather's brought to you by Racine Danish Kringles. Order Dad Kringle for Father's Day at Kringle.com. Have it shipped right to Dad. Kringle.com. Racine Danish Kringles. Not just a treat, it's a tradition. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's happened again. Another local organization switching to business technology from James Imaging Systems. This time, it's St. Anne Center for Intergenerational Care. CFO Sally Parente.
We were unhappy with our previous vendor. It was always a big production. We also had some issues with pricing.
And now with James Imaging Systems?
The service, the value, and the ease with which we can just keep using their service and not having any big headaches. We're getting value here as well.
Just what you'd expect from James Imaging Systems, a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed company. AI-driven workflow automation, security enhancements, and digital transformation.
I love that they're a local company. They've been a wonderful business partner for St. Anne Center.
Make the switch to James Imaging Systems. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner.
Tournament host Steve Stricker joins a star-studded group of PGA Tour champions at the American Family Insurance Championship. Catch the action June 6th through the 8th with an exciting team competition and a new tournament home at TPC Wisconsin. This year's AmFam Champ concert features Megan Maroney with special guest Clint Black on Friday, June 6th at Bree Stevens Field. All proceeds support the Steve Stricker American Family Insurance Foundation and American Family Children's Hospital. Get your tickets today at amfamchampionship.com.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
If you're trying to get through your daily activities and you're noticing you can't because you're focusing more on your pain than being able to enjoy the moment, those are the patients that we're looking to treat because we can make a difference.
That's Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics.
What we're doing at QC Kinetics is offering treatments that help with joint preservation. We use cutting-edge technology in our in-house lab to harness your body's natural healing powers and target the areas where you need them the most.
These are regenerative, non-surgical treatments, and QC Kinetics is the nation's leader, delivering lasting relief to tens of thousands of patients.
What we do know is that the sooner we start treatment, the sooner you'll see relief.
So don't wait another minute. See if you're a good candidate for these non-surgical treatments for joint pain. The consultation is completely free.
Weekend appointments available. Call now. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I'm just a stranger. Oh, this is great road tripping music, right? Take a trip sounds like tripping music, doesn't it, Strofe?
Tripping music?
Brad, you know what tripping music is, right?
Tripping meaning moving.
Now he's talking about Rodgers' style of tripping, baby.
Yeah. Ayahuasca.
I guess so. It's a little bit gritty for tripping music.
Oh, is it?
I feel like it is. I don't. I mean, I wouldn't know.
Maybe it is bad boy music. But this is Kyle Brunson Nortman here on ESPN in Milwaukee. That is Bradley Nortman, longtime NFL punter. I am Kyle Wallace. And holding it down behind the booth for us is Alex Strofe. And we've been talking a lot about Aaron Rodgers today. And now that Aaron Rodgers is officially going to be signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he'll be making that official tomorrow. KBN wants to take a road trip, and you chose, KBN Nation, for us to hop in the van and head to Pittsburgh. And now that we have it confirmed that Rodgers is signing there, it's time to plan a road trip, boys. And you know how much I really love a road trip.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy a road trip. This is the perfect amount of time. It's not too far. I think, what is it, like a 10-hour drive or something like that, so it's not that bad. I enjoy planning a road trip, fellas. We got to figure this out. Whose car are we taking? Who's paying for it? Are we flying? Who's packing snacks?
I like the idea. How long of a road trip is it from here to Pittsburgh?
I think it's like 10 or 11 hours.
That's kind of a long way.
I mean, that's 2 hours per
flights
person.
that are better. Do you prefer to fly or drive?
Oh, I prefer to fly.
What's your tipping point to where it's like, this is too far, I need to fly?
More than 6 hours, I need to fly.
I feel like mine's 8.
Full disclosure, I got family in Michigan, and now they have a flight from Milwaukee to Detroit, and I 100% plan on taking that flight.
No?
100% plan on taking the flight. Yes, Alexander Strofe.
May 16th, 2025 on Kyle Brunson Nortman.
But
I would just say if Aaron Rodgers doesn't sign there,
we're not going to Pittsburgh.
We're not going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. What's our backup?
We're going to Denver.
Denver's our backup plan?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
And you know what? I'm all in for it. I'm all for it. I'm 100% down for this.
So we're doing
it. We are doing it, but
you're committing right now, Kyle?
I am 100% committing to doing it.
That.
Yes. I am committed to doing it, but there's a little birdie that told me that.
Ooh, that's where it cuts off. Cliffhanger.
What little birdie tell me?
I don't know. I cut that 2 months ago or a month ago. I don't know.
We're going to go back to the 3:13 round trip. I can do that.
That's what
that's
flight?
it?
That's it. That's
what
leaving
are the times?
Friday, October 24th, then coming back October 26th.
What time do we fly out on Friday?
5 a.m.
Oh, so we can do the show in Pittsburgh.
We can do the show in Pittsburgh. And but leaving, though, we'll have to leave that Monday. There's an 8:27 flight during the game, and I would want to stay during the game.
Well, yeah, we're going to. We leave Monday.
Ooh, Monday trip going back to Milwaukee, 5 a.m. in the morning.
There we go.
Hey.
Wow.
Jump on the normal red eye from Pittsburgh to Milwaukee.
We might not sleep.
World-renowned red eye.
We might not sleep Sunday night.
What is a red eye?
A red eye is when you leave at like midnight.
When you take off at night and you arrive in the morning.
Yeah.
What is 5 a.m. the night or the morning?
That is the morning.
That's the morning.
Come on,
What's the cutoff?
Probably for the red eye or for just in general?
3:30 a.m. What is that?
That's the middle of the night.
What flight leaves at 3:30?
I'm just asking when the night ends and the morning begins.
I would say 4 a.m.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
2 a.m.
Brad,
what's a red eye?
Gosh, a red eye is when you take off after midnight or like 11 o'clock, and you're going from one coast to another.
That's a red eye?
Yes, typically it's going from the west coast to the east coast of the.
Because you will take off, let's say at 1 a.m., and then you might land at 8 in the morning because of time change and distance.
Yeah, I took a red eye where I left at 12:27.
Geography is
a.m.
fascinating.
It's crazy.
Why is it fascinating?
Time zones have never really made a whole lot of sense to me.
Why not?
But the sun's moving.
Yeah.
Well, right, I understand that part of it, but how do we know Arizona whether or not they're on Pacific or Mountain time?
It's certain areas.
It is true that it is weird to know who doesn't change times.
Yeah,
and
isn't there a portion of Indiana that doesn't change?
There's a portion of Indiana. I don't know. Is Arizona fully all in Pacific now?
No,
or
I think
just
it
partial?
switches.
Because
half the state is always in Mountain time, I think,
and then the other half switches.
The other half is sometimes Mountain, sometimes Pacific.
Yeah,
I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, you might be right. That's very, very confusing. Very, very confusing. But we don't have to worry about that. We're going to the East Coast, and I'm down to fly, but we got to figure out who's going to pay for it. Can we have this conversation about paying for it?
What do you mean? Aren't we will buy our flight. We'll split I think we do an Airbnb. I don't think we do a hotel.
Wait a minute. I got to look at my bank account. I don't even know that. But
what do you mean?
I got to look at my Citizens bank account, because that's where I put my money at. And especially right now, the great thing about it is I'm concerned about how much money I'm going to have. But you know what? When you work with a bank like Citizens Bank, they will take care of that. They have great accounts for you to be able to work with, whether or not you're doing a CD account like I'm doing currently right now, or you're just looking to save. They can help you. And with summer just around the corner, it hits different when you are a homeowner and suddenly you're looking to do different projects. If you need to do different projects, you can work with the folks at Citizens Bank. They can hook you up with their HELOC, because the HELOC will help you knock out all of those summer projects. But if you're just looking to find a brand new banking home, work local with Citizens Bank, because bank where you belong is something that they absolutely believe in. You're not just a name. You're not just somebody walking in. No, you are somebody they actually love to work with. So if you're dreaming a little bigger this summer, check out citizensbankwi.bank. That's citizensbankwi.bank, or just stop by your local banking branch. Citizens Bank is an equal housing lender. We'll have more conversation with Brian Bulaga, future Packers Hall of Famer, right here on Kyle Brust and Norman, so don't you go nowhere.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
You said they are a reflection of their head coach.
Yes, he's soft, as he proved with you by signing that damn jersey you had on. You think Campbell would have signed that jersey?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Your chance to spend an afternoon on the links with ESPN Milwaukee is just a tap away. The 2025 Delzer ESPN Milwaukee Open happens July 15th at the Ball Golf Course, and we're inviting a lucky ESPN Milwaukee fan and 3 guests. Hang out with your favorite ESPN Milwaukee hosts, play around at one of Wisconsin's most popular courses, and enjoy food and drinks throughout the day. Open up the contest tab in the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to win this fan foursome with ESPN Milwaukee.
Kyle Brust and Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American family insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
At Citizens Bank, community banking is you, growing your business with a partner who gets it. It's you, buying your first home with a lender who makes it easy. It's you, building a future with savings that work just as hard as you. And it's us, working together to strengthen our community. Because at Citizens Bank, community banking means you plus us. Visit us at citizensbankwi.bank. Citizens Bank is member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Summerfest is almost here, and we're going to send you to all 9 days. It's Summerfest on us. Download the ESPN Wisconsin app and register for your chance to bring a friend and have the best summer ever at the big gig. Summerfest on us. Register today in the ESPN Wisconsin app under the contest tab.
Bike crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call,
That's all.
Save big on everything for your next painting project when you shop at Menards. Pittsburgh's premier is an interior paint and primer in one that provides excellent all-around performance in an easy-to-clean, durable finish. Save big money on Pittsburgh's premier paint now at Menards. Plus, don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all our great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County,
You know what that music means? It means it's time for the future Packers Hall of Famer, Brian Bulaga. What's happening, Brian? It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. No Brust today, but you got myself, Kyle Wallace, and Brad Nortman. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good. Big news today. I don't know if you saw the big news. Your boy, he's signing. He's on his way to Pittsburgh to get ready to sign that contract. I'm sure you're excited for him.
I did see the news. That is some big news. I will say that Pittsburgh, I get that the rumors were there, and right, that was what everyone was saying the destination would be. I still, I don't know how much I love it for him. I don't know. I mean, obviously he finds it to be a good fit, but I just look at the roster, I look at the team, I look at the offensive line. A little nervous about it.
Thank you, Brian. That's what I said.
Brian, this is a Steelers team who won 10 games last year and 10 games the year before. They know how to get winning records. What about, do you not think that Aaron Rodgers is going to elevate this team to a level where they can win 11, for sure 10, go to the playoffs, maybe win a game or two?
I mean, I think Aaron elevates a team no matter what. I mean, I think that's what he does. But, there's components to, like, you look at, what can he do? What can he do, right? Like, what's he able to do and with the guys around him, right? Like, so if you got a group in front of you that has a hard time blocking, well, it's going to be hard to throw it. And if, the running back position, I know they got, they got rid of Najee because they have a pretty good back there, but, like, it's not like Breece Hall or Aaron Jones or a guy like that. And then look on the outside, I get they got DK, but that's about it, right? They got one guy. So, like, you look at what they have, I mean, it's not like the best offensive situation in the world. It just isn't.
Brian, I feel so validated right now because sometimes when you tell people things and then they'd be like, oh, no. I'm telling you, they attacked me. I said everything you said, probably not as good as you said, and I don't have the credibility you have by any means. But, Brian, thank you so much for breaking down what I feel is the obvious.
Hey, Kyle, you didn't need to clarify who had more credibility.
The obvious piece for me is that I believe they lack weapons, but my biggest concern is the offensive line. And I know and everybody knows that Aaron Rodgers is still a very good quarterback.
No. You said he's an average quarterback.
I say he's a good quarterback. I say he's a good quarterback.
Oh, my God.
I say he's an average to good. He's an average to good quarterback. I did not say he was a very good quarterback. I said average to good quarterback. But we all know Aaron Rodgers is still a good quarterback. But the problem is this: if that offensive line doesn't take the next step, Aaron Rodgers is still old. He's not as mobile as he used to be, and that is where my biggest concern is. And that's why when I look at this team and I look at what could potentially happen, I think this could be a bad season overall for the Steelers.
I have a question for you.
Oh, here Homer go. What's up, Homer?
How much you got? I got the Steelers against the Packers in that game, this one game.
We can do $10.
Okay, whatever you want to do. Get as many backers as you want. This is not about the season. Packers will have a better season. Jordan Love will be better than Aaron Rodgers. Mm-hmm. But one game against the Packers on his home turf, Packers losing.
Wow. Homer.
Brian?
I mean, if there's one game where Aaron may play almost perfect, that could be it. I can assure you that. I mean,
old people can be good once in a while, just not every week.
And that atmosphere in Pittsburgh is probably going to be pretty wild. I mean, they know it. I mean,
and one other thing, Brian
what they're
Bulaga can attest to this. Aaron Rodgers' teammates have always liked him, and they in Pittsburgh, teammates will want to win it for him.
Absolutely.
I'll say this as well. And Brian, you were not on the Packers yet, but no, it might have been your rookie year. I'm trying to get all my years together. But it might have been it might have been right before you got there. When Brett Favre played the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre was ready. He's out for revenge.
He was
out,
very good.
He was out for blood. So one thing I will say, Homer, on this one is that Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers are in the same breath. And matter of fact, Aaron Rodgers is better than Brett Favre. And you're right. If Aaron Rodgers has a chance to play the Green Bay Packers, he's going to put on a show. I can admit that.
Yep. I mean, it'll be, obviously, they put it as a Sunday night game for a reason, right? It was already a Sunday night game, and now, obviously, it's going to stay a Sunday night game. But it is, to me, like, you look at how the Steelers are going to do. I don't love what they have offensively and up front. The CBS just came out with their rankings. Like Kyle Long, broke down all the offensive lines and kind of ranked them. And the Steelers kind of like what I thought going into this thing, which is why I thought Aaron kind of stayed away as long as he did or was going to, is because Pittsburgh doesn't really have a great offensive line up front. And that's where Long sees. That's where a lot of guys see it that are out of this thing and look at it from an outsider perspective. I mean, there's just not a lot of there's just no one on that offensive line that you just go like, all right, there's the stud. We know we can rely on him. We don't have to slide the protection to him. He's going to lock it down. Everyone else, we can figure it out everywhere else. Like, they don't have that, right? And that's what, when you have a quarterback that obviously, his age is what it is, but no matter what the quarterback, when you have an elite quarterback, you want to be able to do that at one spot on the offensive line, because then that helps out the rest of, obviously, the four guys up front and the quarterback. He doesn't have to worry about one of the spots. He feels comfortable about one of the sides, that he doesn't have to worry about that tackle or that guard or whoever. He knows he's comfortable in that position at all times. And that's just one less thing he has to worry about, and he can pay attention to other things. And I just don't know if Pittsburgh has that, and that's a problem.
Brian taking you out of church. He preaching. That man is preaching right now. Keep educating him. 800-990-3776. I do have to admit one thing. Maybe I did say Aaron Rodgers was average or good. I don't know which one. It was average or good, but according to John in Milwaukee, he said they need to develop a bike that pedals backwards so Kyle can be an Olympic champion.
That is so good.
Did I say he was average?
You said to Brian, he's a very good quarterback.
He is a good quarterback.
No, you said he's average. You said he's just a guy.
I will admit that. Now Aaron Rodgers is just a guy to me. I think he's just a guy. Brian, I know he's your boy. But he's not the same elite quarterback. He's an average NFL quarterback. As we said before, Brad, he's probably 12 to 15. He ain't top 10.
Well, I think we have to. If we're going based off his last season with the Jets, we can't give him a ranking like really high, right? The team wasn't good. I think if we want to look at it pure stats, right? Like pure stats, I think if you look at it statistically, his stats weren't that bad.
Just as good as Love.
Brian, I didn't want to lose you, man. I backpedaled a little bit because I didn't want to lose you, man. Me and you been in the green. I didn't want to lose you.
I'm just being honest. If we close our eyes, or not even close our eyes, but we just pull up the stat page and put them all together, I'm just saying, it's not like it is what it is. But yeah, you look at what happened last year with the Jets and where he's at. Yeah, he's obviously not where he was. You look at it when he was in Green Bay. That doesn't mean he can't go out there and still perform at the way he's used to performing. Coming back from an Achilles at a certain age, it's going to take longer than the year. And this is probably going to be a year where he feels much more comfortable, stronger, and more confident on that Achilles. So, if he's going to get better, this is probably going to be the year that he plays better on that Achilles.
I love it. Brian Bulaga, thank you for joining us. You'll get more of that expertise coming up next on the Homer Hour. Keep it locked.